better get your ass to the principal's office. You're in deep, deep trouble. You're gonna get a paddling, maybe detention. Psh, maybe you'll learn something. Boop, boop. Thank you, Tim17. Thank you, Matthew Q. And Melzie and Kyle. Thank you, guys, for Q School.
Tim17 runs a Q School with a truth team. Smartest guy ever seen. Connects the dots, maneuvers a map, roars the truth. Backed by MelzieKaye and Brother Kyle, paving truth highways. Matthew,
so Q-proof in my opinion.
oh Matthew, cheers a morning, cheers on Trump too. Connect American, my friend. Oh, 17 cheers for Q School's principal town. With Q School, learn the truth at Q School. The principal Tim. Truth to you. Paint the truth with Q School. Learn the truth at Q School. The principal Tim.
Time traveling Q-proof here.
Awesome, yeah.
Maybe I'm foolish, maybe I'm blind, thinking I can see through this and see what's behind. Got no way to prove it, so maybe I'm lying. But I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put your blame on me. Don't put your blame on me. Take a look in the mirror, what do you see? Do you see it clearer, or are you deceived in what you believe? 'Cause I'm only human after all, and you're only human after all. Don't put the blame on me. Don't put your blame on me. Some people got the real problems. Some people out of love. Some people think I can solve them. Lord heavens above, I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put the blame on me. Don't put the blame on me. Don't ask my opinion, don't ask me to lie, and beg for forgiveness for making you cry. For making you cry. 'Cause I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put your blame on me. Don't put the blame on me. Oh, some people got the real problems. Some people out of love. Some people think I can solve them. Lord heavens above, I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put the blame on me. Don't put the blame on me. I'm only human, I made mistakes. I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put the blame on me. Don't put the blame on me. I'm only human, I do what I can. I'm just a man, I do what I can. Don't put the blame on me. Don't put your blame on me.
I think America hates Donald Trump because he acts like a dad. He acts like a dad in the house. Think about the house. The dad never gave a fuck what y'all felt. He gave a fuck how the kids was mad. Nigga, I work my ass off. I'm gonna sit in my couch, and that's why kids don't play with their daddy. I just think he acts like America's father, and I think that we're so used to people pandering us, making us feel loved, that if it doesn't feel like that, we like, yo, I don't like this nigga. That's why I'm like, how do y'all let this nigga get to y'all? Tell him what he want to hear. He love you. That's the easiest people to be around. You can say Donald Trump is the most predictable human being alive. If you say I love him, he gonna say I love you back. If you say I hate him, he gonna say you're a piece of shit. So if he who angers you controls you, nigga, we control this nigga. Why we let him get to us? Donald Trump is the reason why music sucks. Donald Trump is the reason why TV sucks. Donald Trump is the reason why entertainment sucks. You wanna know why? Because he's more entertaining than all of that shit in his real life. When Joe Biden was president, I didn't even know he had a fucking president.
Your take on Maricopa County. You're saying that what's going to happen is we're going to find out the Chinese had a major heavy hand in rigging election. What's your take on the raid yesterday in Maricopa?
Yeah, it wasn't really a raid. It was a grand jury subpoena, but they grabbed the stuff. There will be some search warrants executed in the coming days based on my reporting. They're looking at, in Maricopa County, it's a very technical thing, just like it was in Georgia. Did you follow state law? Because if you didn't administer a federal election as it was supposed to be under state law, you can be charged federally. It's just about doing the right thing and following the law. But above that, not in Maricopa County, not in Fulton County, there is an extraordinary review going on by the CIA director, the FBI director, the director of national intelligence, so Tulsi Gabbard, John Radcliffe, and Kash Patel. They have found a body of documents that I think will trouble all of us and probably will have a profound effect on the Senate debate over the Save America Act. A lot of senators are sitting up there saying, I don't know if I need to vote for this. I don't know what the politics is. Wait a second. When they find out that maybe voter identities in their state databases were penetrated by China and used in influence operations, that may change their mind. And so I think the debate in the Senate could be informed by what comes out in the next few weeks.
Oh, fascinating. Oh, that's so interesting.
President Trump is urging Congress to pass the Save America Act, one of the most critical pieces of legislation in our nation's history. The Save America Act is overwhelmingly popular with all Americans because each provision is rooted in common sense. The Save America Act has 5 simple requirements as requested by the President of the United States. Number 1, voters have to show ID to cast a ballot in an American election. Very simple. 90% of Americans, including more than 80% of Democrat voters, agree with this. Number 2, the Save America Act will require all voters to show proof of citizenship in order to register to vote in American elections. Again, this is popular and rooted in common sense. Only American citizens have the right to vote in American elections. But after Joe Biden and the Democrats allowed tens of millions of illegal aliens into our country, it's more important than ever to ensure that only American citizens are registering to vote on our nation's voter rolls, and Congress needs to pass this. Number 3, the Save America Act abolishes the incredibly unsecure practice of universal mail-in ballots, which throw the door wide open for fraud. Importantly, the Save America Act maintains exceptions for Americans to use mail-in ballots for illness, disability, military, or travel reasons. The bipartisan 2005 report of the Commission on Federal Election Reform, chaired by, of all people, former President Jimmy Carter and former Secretary of State James Baker, concluded that, quote, absentee ballots remain the largest source of potential voter fraud, and it is time for Congress to finally address this. Number 4, the Save America Act permanently bans men from competing in women's sports. President Trump signed a landmark executive order upholding the promise of Title IX and ending this dangerous and unfair practice. But now it's time for Congress to codify this into law. Number 5, the Save America Act bans transgender mutilation surgery for children. Again, President Trump signed a common sense executive order to do this and kept his promise to the American people, but now Congress needs to do the same and codify it. It's well past time for Democrats in Congress to stop perpetuating the radical and false claim that you can somehow change a child's sex. You cannot. Passing the Save America Act is the most important thing that Republicans and frankly Democrats can do to strengthen election integrity and protect our democracy. It's what the American people elected Republicans to do, and they must deliver on it as soon as possible. The president is calling on Congress to get the job done and send this historic piece of legislation to his desk immediately for signature.
I saw Trump 3 times in the month before, and
Oh, yeah. I think I'm coming on here. I think I'm coming on. Stand by. Let me do one thing.
Hey. It's Q school time.
Where are we at here?
Right on schedule. Right on schedule, Cac.
I see Tim in all black now. I don't know where's Tim at. Are you in here? What's going on here? There it is. All right. What's up, Timbo? How you doing? Again, the gremlin glitches again.
I'm doing great. Yeah, it's been a while. I miss you guys, since last Friday. I mean, yeah, it's like we're at a time warp. But here we are. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day, everybody. Yeah, there's no shortage of news breaking, I'll tell you that. And we're going to cover quite a bit of it today for you guys. We took the last couple of days off due to appointments and other things going on in our crazy lives right now. But glad to be back with you guys. Hope you guys all had a wonderful weekend with all the breaking news. With the Shield of Americas, just saying. Kyle picked that one on Friday's show. We're talking about the Shield. We're even reading about Shield. How does that shit even happen, Kyle? I don't know, but
yeah, if everybody pieced all that together there too, all those different things that called different things. And I put the location I posted was Shield. I explained how they use our movies for reality stuff. Then the Shield of Americas comes out. I never heard that, but then don't forget this part. We're gonna do this one live one more time. In case
how many countries, by the way? Was there 17 countries?
17 countries is exactly how there was. Let me fix this up here. Oh wait, there's this. Bring Tim on the side here with us. Showing the Q drop. And he also searched if you search Shield in the Q drops
17
as long as I spell it right. Shield
17 drops. We
there
did
it is. 17 drops. So we got Absolute and Resolve in there from original 44 to 46. So Shield is 47. I think we're going to have more than that too. So I don't know if Susan Calloway has been able to update the list for us on that one yet. We'll have to get together and make sure we got all of our numbers, but we're getting rapidly close into 51. And I have a feeling I'm worried we might go past it. We'll see though. Maybe we got lucky and using our intuition to find, somehow, I don't even know how some of you guys found it. Again, shout out to Tim's found a lot of the crazy ones. And of course, Mag 5's gone on fire. Brittany Stover's got many. Cindy's got a handful of them. What we're talking about, guys, is search terms on the keyboard, which I believe is reading the map. And they have exactly 17 drops on there. Using QAG on this, I think there's certainly some sort of correlation with Q alerts, but for me, it's kind of like one thing at a time. I think if you do see some 17s, maybe try to write them down for us on if it's on Q alerts, and we can compare, because that's the whole thing too. Because Q plus, let me just show this. Let's do an updated one just as an example of the two different kinds, but also where it still seems like there's comms with it. So let's go to QAG first. And I don't know if many people have actually seen this one. This is a good one. Was a major connection too that we were on the right track. And Tim, I believe, found this one first before anybody else. Q plus, 45 Q drops on QAG. Okay, QAG is QAGG.news. It looks like this. That stands for Q aggregator. And .news like that. Aggregators is taking on the Q drops, putting them in one place for you. Search box is easy, search numbers, all that stuff, but it's a little more complicated here. Go over to Q alerts. And let's try searching Q plus on Q alerts. And we get 48 drops. 48 Q drops. So we talk about time travel and stuff. First, there's 45. Trump was Q plus, there's 45. There's a ton of connections with
sounds like Trump. Sounds like Trump 2028 to me, just saying.
Trump 2028. You know what? I think I even have the image up. Let me bring this down for just a second because I want to find it. There's the image where he posted on his thing. I have it somewhere. It's a little video game, but it's 45, 46, 47, 48. So that's interesting in our connection with negative 48. Were those comms that we didn't understand even at the time? Because there's 45 Michael Q drops too. Let's do that one real quick. Also, that'll be one more fun one. I haven't done that. So we got Q proofs in the hashtag here. So if you put in Michael on QAG, maybe somebody search it on Q alerts and let me know if it's the same number or not. Michael on QAG, and we get 45 Q drops. Okay, some other connections here. This is the map also too, guys. Ask yourself 45 Q drops, targeted 45 Q drops. You have more than you know 45 Q drops. We gotta make a list of that too. But Michael, 45 Q drops, and there's the connection between Michael Brian Protzman, negative 48, also 48, and the connection with Trump. And there's some really interesting connections. First Michael Q drop is, I got it. Let me flip it. Let's see what the last one is. Oh, how about that? Let's do the last one. We always do the first one. Let's see if there's any comms here, any connections between 48 Michael and the Q team. It's 1970 days ago, 34 minutes though. Q drop 48, 85's in there. We also got 88. The time travel Trump is inside of 45. Look at that, just with the number of the Q drop. If y'all go on Q-Tard with me, we've got 48 in here. Not sure what 85 might mean, but 88 is inside of 45. And it's on the 17th, October 17th. Same day as the Q drop where there is one Q. There are anons. There is 3 no QAnon. Okay, right here, look at this. This is from way back when. In December 12th, 2018, Q drop 2611. And Anon asked, is JFK Jr. alive? Now, the ... under there, guys, was this original site. This was qmap.pub. And you could click some of these abbreviations. I'm not sure. I can't remember what that was exactly. So I'm just adding that. That's not on the original Q drop, but it's odd to me. And then Q says no. Not going to go into the decodes on this. That's just interesting. I want to add that no one's hardly mentioned, and I heard it from Mel and wherever, I always shout out our Anons diggers, but Chanel, like the perfume, is number 5, is NO.5. So it's not capital NO, it's capital N, then lowercase. So that NO period could perhaps be number. So maybe the answer is number Q. That's just one of many other decodes out there, but many Anons haven't seen that one so much. So I'm not sure that. So past 5 hours, basically talking about how probably again they were trying to spin it that everything was to deal with Junior. Let's see. Do you see how it works? Why are they so heavily invested in attacking, forcing POTUS to denounce, attempt twice? When do you expend ammunition? So they were basically. We used the JFK Jr. topic to trap the media also, right? And the media is trying to spin that, trying to get Trump to denounce it, saying, oh, these people are crazy. They think JFK is alive and all this. Why are they so desperate for Trump to denounce it, right? Because as long as he doesn't, it continues to validate it. And that's also, you can't do it directly. That's plausible deniability too. So it's really wild to watch this whole thing unfold.
Yeah, it reminds me of that one Q drop that I bring up from time to time. Even autists will be blown away with how this unfolds, folks. So buckle up, make sure you stock up on your popcorn because it's getting really juicy right now. And just to take you on a little time travel ourselves, but here on Friday's show, and it was so interesting, Kyle, and I DM'd you right away. It was Saturday. It was first thing Saturday morning, I think, when I first saw the news break. It was late Friday night because somebody had posted what was happening Saturday about this Shield of Americas. And I went, holy shit, Kyle was just talking about that today on QSCHQQL. I DM'd Kyle, and then I haven't really talked to Kyle and Melzie all through the weekend up until maybe yesterday a little bit. And then, of course, leading up to Q School today, which we're running a little bit late, obviously, as you guys could tell, and you're just coming in. Thank you for joining us. But you got the Shield of Americas. We had the moves and counter moves of Kristi Noem, right? Because everybody said she was fired from her original position. But now all of a sudden she's heading the Shield of Americas, which involves 17 countries. Fighting cartels, guys, fighting the cartels. I mean, this is like one domino at a time being taken down before your very eyes. And then to make things even better, on Sunday, and Melzie repointed it out, I think Kyle did too, but Trump posts reposted Patriots are in control. Patriots are in control. I mean, it gave me chills. That was Sunday. So Saturday was...
So we haven't even been back since that one to tell everybody.
That's why I did, and I think Ildonado did. That's why me show you this. Let's do the overlay real quick.
Well, I saw the connection right away, so I posted it on Q School on Sunday, and I attached it to. You'll see in Diggers. We can go through all this, but the one Q drop I attached it to was 2254, and it says, "We are at the precipice. Swamp is fighting back." The Q drop says, "Remain calm. We are here for a reason. Patriots in control." Q.
So look at this. All right,
Yes.
so Tim has this one. There's the one Tim and a lot of the Patriots mentioned. But Tim, and I don't know, we'll have to look up actually the show, guys, because I searched something. Maybe I searched Patriots are in control. That's the weirdest thing. Or did I do Swamp? I say, but either way, so we'll have to look it up because this one, and it wasn't a Delta. It's September 21st. And I had this Q drop. This one here, remain calm. Patriots are in control. So there. But I had brought that up on Friday, March 6th. And then here's the White House on March 8th, and it's 11:59 a.m. also too. That's just even crazier with all that. I think I did some of the gematria with you guys on that, the 5-9. Gosh, I can't click that thing right.
So I think Ildonado Trumpo reposted a picture of him, like Trump, like this, and then he put Patriots are in
Can you do it?
control.
I didn't see what you had.
So the overlay here, so he had Trump put in instead of
Trump did that?
Yeah, Ildonado Trumpo.
Oh, okay. Papi Trumpo.
Papi Trumpo did.
Okay.
And then he put Patriots are in control. So
where'd that one go to? Okay, so let me, and I could show that. So like the puppy count, but okay, so that was interesting too with the young guy with the mustache. Again, Patriots are in control. That was from the White House's Twitter page, which got to 5 million followers, I think, too. By the way, shout out to them. Where else did I want to go with that? Tim was reading it. What Q drops were you reading there, Tim? Oh, there it is. Show you a new world. Oh no, that's something else. Fake MAGA. That was another decode you had.
Yeah, I was working with the team behind the scenes over the weekend, like in our Telegram channels and stuff. So some of the things that I posted were based on our weekend conversations, and you guys know me. Like when I get into whether it's a debate or trying to prove the sauce or the meaning behind the conversation, at least based on how I'm looking at this unfolding, I always use Q-isms. I'll attach Q drops right to the message, right to the whatever it is the fam jam's talking about, and I'll just let them ponder on it. Like just read that Q drop, and does it make sense that we're talking about that today, this particular? So that's kind of how I unfolded over the weekend in regards to that. We had some great discussions about how biblical this whole thing is becoming. So I attached some of those Q drops over the weekend. But as this was unfolding, Kyle and Melzie, and I know everybody's busy with their lifestyles and stuff, so you might not catch all the things, how it's unraveling. But I mean, again, after the wonderful week we had on Q School last week, decoding the Iran war and Patriots are in control and SHIELD, talking about SHIELD. All of a sudden, Saturday, you get the Shield of America's announced. Great speech, by the way. Great commentary and everything. I watched it. It was early Saturday morning. And then we learned a little bit more about Kristi Noem's new role, which is not fired. She ain't fired. She's just, how you move pieces on the chessboard. And Kyle was talking about the chessboard last week on Q School. So I don't know how you entwine all that stuff, brother. It's just, we seem to be like right on the tip of the spear as far as the information, or at least the way that this is unfolding. And then you had the Patriots in control drop, which is another hat tip or confirmation towards the Q Intel board and the Anons that really sink their teeth into this material, which is what we do on a daily basis, and it's right there in our face. And then of course Monday and Tuesday with the latest greatest breaking news on top of Iran, on top of the oil prices spiking and then diving back down, and Trump calling out the deep state and all the shenanigans and all the manipulation that's going on globally as he's taken down the global psychopaths one by one and freeing all the citizenry of all these countries and forming this alliance, worldwide global alliance with others, because we already have the Board of Peace. Now we got the Shield of Americas. Well, we're going to be taking Greenland, and Canada's going to become the 51st state. I mean, it's all like boom, 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 boom.
Let's go.
And now, if you want to talk about schmack and Q drops, you've got John Sullivan coming out Monday and yesterday, and even more so today, talking about some of the breaking declassified information that's coming out this week in regards to what? Maricopa County, Arizona, and Runbeck, of all places. It's in the Q drops, man. You can't make this shit up.
Q proofs galore, guys. Actually, let's kind of go through a little bit with on the board here. Let me just let my mind real quick on this, Tim. Let me go back to this again. I put this graphic up, and I don't even know if Tim saw it. Tim probably saw it and dropped it in Diggers without even seeing that I did it, because there's Tim forwarded in there, and then Tim put these two Q drops together. I love it. And up here, I had covered it Friday, and then and they posted it Sunday, 11:59. I'm pretty sure that's the Eastern Standard Time. So if y'all know the stuff we've kind of hinted at and helped cover about, the twins, and that we got White Knight in our Telegram channel. There's that infamous post, or a really interesting post of the pilots. It says White Knight and what's the other guy's name? Ghost something.
White Knight and Ghost Rider.
Yeah. Anyway, so the twins, the whole idea there. Let me add to that, just like our whole Jamont, everything else all the tools we use, in particular -48, helping us use a lot of these tools like gematria. So it's at 11:59. If you do John F. Kennedy Jr. with the junior spelled out. Wait, I didn't want that. I wanted John. Hold on. Kennedy. Oh, JR is 159. So John F. Kennedy, JR 159 at 11:59. It's like the +1. You put the +1 on there. Maybe that's the brother, the twin, so just having some fun with that stuff. There's the pilot. So that's the timestamp. Now I want to show you guys using QAG how you can search different things. So finish this little decode I was doing with the 45 Michael Q drops. I switched the sort. So I remember the very last one. Very interesting. The last Michael Q drop is the JFK Jr. alive. Now I'm going to go to the first one, though, switch the order. So the very first Michael Q drop is Q drop 109 on November 5th, 2017. And the Anon shares the Archangel Michael sword here. The image is called Spiritual Warfare, _Warfare. And the Anon shares the Archangel Michael prayer. Go ahead and do it. I haven't done this one in a while. Saint Michael, the Archangel, defend us in battle. Be our protection against the wickedness and snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray. And do thou, Prince of the heavenly hosts, by the power of God, cast down to hell Satan and all his evil spirits who prowl about the world seeking the ruin of souls. Amen. Q responds back, amen, brother Q. And check this out. Anon posted that. Q responded. How much longer did they respond? 48 seconds later, Q responds to Archangel Michael prayer of 45 Michael Q drops. Then if we go to Q alerts, back to the Q alerts here, Q plus 48 Q plus drops. Right, so interesting connection with that. So I want to show that. Now back over to QAG. One more thing. Hopefully I'm not hitting you guys too much, but the search thing, we can search Papi Trumpo. So Melzie claimed that Papi Trumpo made a post about it put Trump in there. So let's check it out. So I'm going to flip the order.
Did you catch? I know you're going quite quick, but Melzie had her head down on this one. But her title above us right now says, "You'll love how this movie ends." That one image of Trump, "Stay with me, deplorables." I'm pretty sure underneath it says, "You'll love how this." I don't know.
Yeah, totally, huh? You'll love how this movie ends.
Oh, yeah, up above here. I know what you're talking about now, Tim. Yeah.
But did you see that image in the Michael Q drops that you were scrolling by? There was that photo of the black and white with Trump.
Let me drop down and you guys can.
Okay.
There you go.
Get back on here, too. So also, where am I at here? So I think I had it this way.
I think it says, "You'll love how this ends."
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, I bet you it's the very last one then, maybe.
You were just scrolling across it.
This is going, I have his, what you call it on here? Yeah, right here. Was it Michael, though? Or no, I bet you it's Q plus, maybe. That's what it is.
Oh, the Q plus one. There it is.
There we go.
There it is. There it is, Melzie.
Look at that, right up above there, That's pretty cool. Nice catch, Tim.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
You got it?
Yeah.
All right, so now what I wanted to do was actually, I didn't want to, there's search here, so I'm going to go back. So now I have on Puppy Trumpo's tweets. So now we should work backwards, and
I have it in Telegram, and I dropped it in Diggers if you want.
Okay.
And the boss is in Ohio, Kentucky today, talking with one of the big pharmaceutical companies that's spending billions of dollars and creating new jobs here in the United States of America. So that's big news. We'll probably hear a lot of cool things coming from the boss later on today too. So keep your eyes on that, brothers and sisters. And Trump did speak a number of times over the weekend. Including, I believe, the most latest one was from the Oval Office. I think it was it yesterday or the day before? I can't remember. But in the press gaggle, he basically just, I mean, the guy's freaking amazing. I don't know. I'm trying to remember. Well, he just manhandled the press like you wouldn't believe. But they're always trying to spin the things that he's doing, and he just flipped them upside down on their heads. So like just like that. But yeah.
Well, that's what's interesting too and beautiful about the plan, and it makes sense too. We've kind of hinted about the Samson option. We haven't gone so deep into it, but it's the idea again, these psychopaths just unleashing nuclear war on the world, even though they had nowhere to, it wasn't going to help them escape. So we've cornered them into these things where they have no way out, right? In the narrative, right? The control of the people's minds is most important. That's what this whole information war is about. That's what the Q operation is about. And as we walk them into, again, continuing to step on their own words, from saying, Bill Clinton and Obama saying we have to have, borders. We have to, if you came here illegally, you got to go, like saying using all their own words against them. Then you also have all of a sudden in 2025, every economist in the world was an expert on tariffs. They've never seen them in action, not since the early 1900s. But all these experts said it's going to be a horrible idea. Well, now they're already seeing how wrong they are. It's going to be even more wrong the longer we go. But some of these other things, I mean, it's 24 hours and they're wrong. First, it's Trump's going to go on this endless war. He's going to have boots on the ground. No, he's not going to have boots on the ground. He's like, that's a waste of time. This war is going to be over in 17 days, probably. I bet you it's going to be.
I got a golden rule of thumb, and I'm glad you brought that up. Anytime you're watching something or a show or news or whatever it is, and they say, our experts are saying, as soon as they say spit those words out, run, leave. Don't even listen. Or if you want to listen to it, think mirror, think the opposite, because they're experts, that's part of their game plan all along. The experts this. I mean, go back into the COVID days. The experts, right? Like what? These experts are psychopaths, guys. They're not our friends, the so-called experts. Oh.
Yes, right. And there was this really funny reply to Tim, when we took out all their leaders, and then they're meeting again, and they had 88 of them, and they got wiped out, right? And it was literally the board of experts was the name of it. So we had the funniest reply ever. They said, meeting together all at once while the bombing is still going on doesn't scream experts to me. So and it's been synonymous with it, right? Experts say you should use a mask. Experts say, then Fauci's like, oh, we just kind of made it up. 6 feet. There's no science there, but you should trust it. Trust our bullshit. So it's all being exposed. And again, 24 hours, the people are wrong within 24 hours on many things. The date faggers keep going down in flames, all the nonsense.
And then to add to just to get you guys up to speed on Sunday night, okay, because I do day trading, so I'm always dealing with the cryptocurrencies and stuff, and all of a sudden oil starts spiking Sunday night, and doesn't it go up 17%?
No.
It spikes up 17%. And all the panicins around the world, because they're saying this is a never-ending war, and the gas prices are going through the roof, and it's the end of the world again, and the experts are telling us this and that and everything else, and then Trump comes out with it, and this is all on Diggers, Kyle, whenever you want to show it. And Trump says this, and he said it on, let me make sure the date here.
Where you at?
On the 8th. Scroll up, you'll see short-term oil prices. I'm just trying to keep going up.
Oh yeah, we still got some good stuff in here.
We're gonna work our way downwards here. Yeah, there's Iron Eagle too. I brought in a little Iron Eagle for you guys.
Cells, Maricopa, sleeper cells again.
Yeah,
Shield of Americas.
There it is. There it is. Yeah. So read that one there. This is so that.
Okay. Oh, there it is.
Sunday night. It goes up like a rocket ship. 17%. It hit $119 a barrel. Yeah.
119 is 9/11 mirrored. Simple English Gematria, 2 sessions. 119. Oh, we got some good 119s there. So oil prices skyrocket 17% plus. There's a 17 plus in there. That's
There
Q plus.
is. There is.
Oh, we just put that 17% plus.
And I'm watching this live, Kyle Melzie. Because I'm doing my day trading. I've got my Bitcoin and other cryptos that I short the market, long the market, on a daily basis. I'm playing around with it. I got gold and silver. I'm playing the same kind of racket, but I'm watching this unfold, and then all of a sudden Trump posted this message at 6:54. Think Mirror 456. All 3 movies playing at the same time. I'm going, oh my God, this is crazy. Read that. Read what he says about the oil. All the panic out there.
Okay, so Tim was hitting with you guys with a lot there. He went full out to us talking about Q drop 456. We'll probably play that one next. We'll also show the movie poster just as a reference. I think a lot of people, even the people that have been with us a minute, maybe a little refresher on that. So oil prices skyrocket 17% plus, crossing $100 a barrel amid Iran escalation. President Trump fires back short-term pain for long-term peace. And there's been a lot of this stuff going on with that. We talked about that on Friday. I think having the insurance company handle that, the military protecting it. I didn't, I kind of maybe spoke, I'll admit too, wasn't very informed. I didn't realize the Strait of Hormuz is that tiny. Is it Hormuz or Telmuz? Sorry guys, but anyways, I was talking about that on the Kalshi market. I don't know if it's gone over yet. It had to go by 90% down over 7 days. I don't think it'll be that long. We'll see how that goes. I don't even know where it's at right now, but anyways, there's some
oil. It came up, it fell all the way back down into the 70s.
Well, not the oil price, but also is the Strait of Hormuz will still be restrained. Like what the betting thing said, 90% of traffic, like daily traffic, would have to be reduced for at least a 7-day average for that to be considered a on the betting thing. Gotcha. So if you want to read this one here, Tim, then what he said.
So Trump came out with this one Sunday evening. It says short-term oil prices, which will drop rapidly. How does he always know these things, guys? Like, what has Trump ever said something that ever came true or false? So and they did drop it, shot up, and then it started. Then the very next day, so later Sunday, early Monday morning, all the way through Monday afternoon, it went from 119 all the way down into the 80s, and now it's settling down into the 70s. So it says, which will drop rapidly when the destruction of Iran nuclear threat is over. So basically, hint, nod, it's over. It's finished. There's all these panicans out there, these warmongers, thinking that this is going to be ongoing. It's a done deal, folks. I mean, anyway.
Only fools would think differently.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, and it says, there's a very small price to pay for USA and world safety and peace. Only fools would think differently, President DJT, which is 4/10/20. So,
4/10/20.
And the timestamp 654, and I'm thinking Mirror 456.
Oh, okay.
All 3.
All right, let's show that real quick. You know what? I got to find the Q drop.
It's interesting because all 3 movies are legitimately breaking in the news, playing out right now in front of our faces, including John Solomon stuff, which we'll talk about.
What a coincidence, right? For sure. So I'm going to search a movie over on Q Alerts here, and there it is.
There it is.
Oh, look at how many movie drops on Q Alerts.
34.
Or 17 plus. Also 17 plus 17. Q plus. Very last one, 4904. It's actually an image of an earlier Q drop on July 9th, 2019. This is October 21st, 2020. So it's reshared here again.
At 217.
I just nice catch on that one. 217 is that original movie. Oh my gosh, gotta love that. Nice catch, Tim, on that one. And 224 and 223. It's got all of our other anniversary dates in there too, Tim. 224 is kind of like the unofficial was. Remember, we finished after midnight, so we started the 23rd, and then the recording went on the 24th. That's really
interesting. So he drops this before you go any further. Also, and somebody just reminded me. Thanks, Justin Bubble in the chat. It also reminded me, he also retruthed Kim Clement, prophesizing back in, I believe it was April of 2007. And he also retruthed the Trump Bible from Scotland, from his mother's, from the the one that I always used to play all these years on Q.
Yeah, his mother's Bible, right? Or
Yes, the Bible that's in the Oval Office. Yeah, he retruthed both those, Kim Clement and then the Bible story, the Trump Bible.
Wow.
So that's why, like, when you see those Q drops that I posted in Diggers, since we haven't talked in a few days, the reason I put in it, it's biblical and God wins and all that stuff. That's what we were communicating and talking about, trying to connect the dots.
Yeah.
On that.
Wow. Okay.
So, they're all playing at the same time because they're all interconnected, right? FISA-Gate is interconnected to Panic in DC, and the Guardians of the pedophiles is interconnected to FISA-Gate too.
And it's everything Q's talked about also too. So just to kind of slow down on some of these Autis recaps here, Tim took the timestamp 6:54 p.m. Eastern time, and then he thought mirror that. So mirror of 654 is 456. That's why I went to this one to show this. This isn't Q drop 456. I actually just searched movie on Q alerts. It's Q drop 4904. Sharing an earlier Q drop with this again. The movie is like you go to see this at the theaters, in theaters now. Guardians of the Pedophiles, Panic in DC, and FISA-Gate. And that's interesting. Tim thought of thinking mirror because the order of these movies playing is actually FISA-Gate first, then Panic in DC, and the last one is Guardians of the Pedophiles. So it would be 654 in that order. Let's see what the rest of the Q drop. All three movies playing simultaneously, Q says, ? Do you find it interesting that everything discussed in the past is somehow making news as of late?
Oh, shit. I just got chills on that one, too. I mean, if you think about it, because it is playing out. Like, we can actually take the news clips, and we will do some of that today, and we can attach it to the Q drops. Melzie found one about Cassidy Hutchinson. She also banged off a Q drop also. You found that just as we were starting up Q school today. Of course, John Solomon talking about the voter ID rolls and about this new investigation from the FBI, who was tracking and tracing all devices of not only the Trump family, Trump administration, and a lot of political patriots out there over the last 8 to 10 years, folks. It's all coming out this week. Declassified information from Ratcliffe, who's in the Q drop, CIA, from you've got Tulsi Gabbard, you've got well, we're going to listen to John Solomon shortly. You'll see what I'm talking about, and we're going to tie it all together. But everything bangs off the Q drops, and then the Maricopa stuff, Maricopa County and Runback. Come on,
yes, it's all right there. It's crazy. So yes, we're going to show you guys that. Like again, the Runback stuff is coming into the fruition. This is everything Q talked about. Also, Cassidy Hutchinson, when it first happened, there was a Q drop with her name in it. Now Trump's posting about her again, and she's facing criminal charges. And then the third thing is, I got one more, Tim. I don't even know if you've seen it yet. Let me pop and squeeze mine in. Okay, Mel's got some. We'll let go Mel first.
Go
there.
back to the image of 456.
Okay, what are you trying to do? Oh, it's a decode. I got you. I thought you needed a picture of it. Okay, what you want?
Thank you. Okay, so 456, you have, there were always Guardians of the Pedophiles, right? They were, and that's what they did, is they, the media was Guardian and the police. And so that was the first kind of movie, right? And then, like you said, it's mirrored. So if you have Guardians of the Pedophiles and FISA-Gate mirrored in between, creates Panic in DC.
Yep. And and they're all related because once the FISA-Gate's exposed, DC's in panic. Once the pedophiles aren't protected anymore, and we're seeing that all play out. And then what's really cool, and then shout out to Jay Rosemary, because some other decodes we've done over time, is General Flynn had in his office a 3-piece part of the Washington crossing the Delaware. And before we kind of knew that Q drop so well, and at least in my mind, and I know Tim was, before Jay Rosemary was like, he thought, where did he think that? Oh, he's like, movies. It seems like movie posters. That's what he said. It made me think of this 456. They're like, let's go to what's Q post 456. So we go over to Q post 456 then. And it's the high definition picture of Washington crossing Delaware. And this is the picture that General Flynn had in his office right behind him. Actually, recently, more recently.
Broken into three sections. Sorry, Mel, go ahead.
I knew there was something more to the 456, and then I couldn't remember it. So I'm glad you brought this up.
And I did that fast. Sorry, it's Q drop 456, guys. And that's all that actually Q posts here. And this was actually a Q proof. I actually didn't know this till more recently. Is Q posts this on December 24th, Christmas Eve. that's what I understand the timing to be, but we've been time traveling for a long time. So some people say it was the eve of Christmas. I don't know about that, but I understood it as we went on Christmas Eve to surprise attack them. And I crossed in the middle of the night, freezing cold weather. So Q posted this on December 24th, 2017, the day of Christmas. The next day, it was the Department of Defense or one of those posted this image and talked about Washington crossed in Delaware. So that's not our big Q proof. That's from way back. So a lot of people don't know that one.
So going up and looking at the date and that it was posted and this picture, it really is the beginning of the revolution, right? So 4, 5, 6 and the movies playing all at once is really the beginning, I think, of the revolution.
Okay. And then more, this specifically on this battle, though, was actually a turning point because we were kind of driven back and Washington's men were cold. They're hungry. They had no food. They've been just like the Anons, right? Been thinking this war was going to be done a long time ago and they're battling. They're frustrated and cold. To throw in farther elements of this, what makes it amazing is Washington used a lot of spies, in particular female spies. Okay, yeah, honeypots and otherwise, but also seeding false information is just part of the information war. So the other side thought the North was going to be celebrating Christmas and hunkered in, and the weather
almost
was
like
cold.
almost like Q drop 28. I'm thinking.
Q drop 28, infiltration, the insurgency, tracking them all, right, and using the information. So this was a huge turning point. But I love that reference that Mel made because a lot of people try to go, oh, war, da, da, da. That's what the cabal's plan always was. But this is the second American Revolution.
Yes.
We're taking our country back. We're actually having it for the people. It's not going to be under British rule in secret. It's not going to be under corporation rule in secret. It's going to be us, the people, that are in control of our destiny. And it's finally coming, but it's a big responsibility, and we ain't been ready for it yet. So I think we're almost there, kids. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how she plays out. All right, so you got some. Maybe we'll do some John Solomon. Take a little break here on let him.
Go back into Diggers and just like chisel your way down, and we'll have just brief conversations about everything because we'll get everybody caught up to where we are, and then up until today, which is the John Solomon stuff that broke last night and today on War Room.
Okay, yeah, and then actually while you're doing that too, I'll mention one of another Q proof or Q things that we've all been talking about. So let me show mine real quick because I don't know if Mel's even seen it either. I shared it over from True Social. It just popped up though. We've talked, I think, many times on the show about the not seeking re-election. Oh, and Tim, you called it. You said God wins. You were talking about the biblical things today. Yep. Here's some of Tim's drops. If that was not, if it was that today or the other day. Either way, last couple of days. But he's saying today.
You're muted.
The gremlins are back. Is it this one? Nope. Here's the emergence. And check this out, Tim. Let me just go to the True Social here.
Oh, hashtag God wins. Oh, no way.
Yeah, well, I put that one, add this one, but here, check it out. Breaking. Michigan Rep Karen Whitsett, Democrat, D-Party, announces she will not seek re-election. Where have we heard that before? Saying the Democrat Party does not align with Christian values. Quote, in the end, I have to answer to God. It's impossible to be a faithful follower of Jesus Christ while remaining a member of the Democrat Party as it exists today. I have compromised my relationship with Jesus for too long.
Wow.
Jesus moment.
There you go. A walk away. D-Party's crumbling right before our very eyes. There will be more of these.
From Michigan, too, no doubt. Wow.
Michigan. Good point.
I really think leading up to the midterm, we're going to see a lot more of this unfold, brothers and sisters. I mean, it is definitely biblical journey right now, spiritual warfare, information warfare at its finest. And we're starting to see all of these little pieces of the puzzle dropping into place. We're seeing the world for the very first time in history waking up to the evil that surrounds them and has embedded itself in all institutions of all countries around the world, and how it's all being taken down one at a time. It's I'm that's why I'm so excited every day about our journey together, because we are being provided. What's that one Q drop? You are being provided how does it go? The highest
level of intel. I'll find that real quick right now.
The highest level of intel ever to be in history, or something like that. That's how I feel. I mean, we're right on the leading edge,
We are.
Like the news, the stuff that we decode and break down, all of us collectively, a day or two after we do it, the news comes out with it. So we're ahead of the news. We are the news now. That's basically how, because we can sense it, we can see it, we can feel it, we can touch it. We know kind of what direction we're heading, whereas the news outlets aren't real researchers. We know they don't research. They only copy and paste. That's all they do. We do the research. We do the digs, the decoding, the connecting the dots. And this is every time I see something coming out in the news, I go, oh my God, we talked about that 6 months ago. It's just crazy, Kyle and Melzie. It's just, I love it.
Well,
me too.
It's crazy because we literally were years ahead of the news in some things, right? And now it's like the real time events. We're like literally announcing it ahead of time just by following the Q drops and connecting the dots. And again, we showed that meme, remain calm, Patriots are in control. We did that Friday, Sunday, the White House posting that, of course, many others, Department of Labor.
So if you wanted to go down to the very bottom of Diggers, you'll see that.
Okay, and then let me show the Q drop real quick. So I covered that the re-election. If you guys haven't seen, this is a great post thing to search. I haven't searched it on Q Alert to see if there's a different number, but RE, make sure you put the dash in there. The dash matters. RE dash election and Q drop 24. There's 24 Red October drops. This is the big plan, guys. Any person making statements they will not be seeking re-election was put in submission. Red October submissions, also cyber warfare. We had a bug in all their devices, all their criminal activity, all their blackmail, all their bullshit. We have it all. For the betterment of the country, not all will be prosecuted and all will do as told. That's what this whole movie's about, guys. We can't take out all of them, our members of Congress at once. And I truly believe many have been replaced that we don't even know about, so that this transition works perfectly. There's a Q drop that says, how do you repair a bridge? I don't like to assume on Q drops, but it's assumed that without shutting it down. How would you repair a bridge without shutting it down? Well, it's very complicated. You have a plan, you shut down sections, you keep other sections moving, and you fix and stuff, and other the people going across the bridge might not know anything about it or where you're at in the plan. But so this kind of whole thing. But let me do the last part here though. For the betterment of the country, not all will be prosecuted and all will do as told. You will see more of this occur, not normal, yet disregarded, even on the D side. So if that isn't a Q proof, though, we just covered right here, Karen Whitsett, Democrat Party, announces she won't seek re-election. Now she's specifically bringing up God in there, too. So that's a big one.
Well, also, I think of Bill Maher and
Bill Maher.
Yeah. And
it's spelled weird. Yeah.
Yeah. How he's saying things. He's talking MAGA, and others too that you never thought would be like.
He just called out Adam Schiff the other night, I think, on the weekend.
Yeah, he's been just roasting him. The Bill Benny Johnson has some great recaps specifically of Bill Maher. Benny Johnson, big channel, conservative channel. He does a lot of stuff with Bill Maher there, covering the Bill Maher drops. You guys want to check him out, just go to Benny Johnson's page. He's the one that leaked the Epstein photos. So he's obviously involved, to say the least.
Yeah. Well, even Tucker, all of them, I think all of them were in bed with the cabal, possibly one way or the other. And so, Steve Bannon too, they're going to do as they're told. If they would just be taken out of the picture, it would cause too much of a void, like chaos.
Yeah.
And so they have to, and people listen to them. Millions
That's why it's a perfect
of people
plan.
Listen to them. So they're going to listen to the talking heads that they've always been listening to. And that's what I've always believed, is they're going to use the tools that they use to enslave us, to deslave us. Mm-hmm. And so, that's why you see them speaking pro-Trump, and bringing up to light things that they normally have been against.
Right. Especially those middle of the road players. Bill Maher was kind of always fit for it. Again, before I understood politics, I definitely watched some of his stuff and whatever. And, but anyways, you see that too from even, what's that one guy, not Branson, but the kind of hippie guy. And there's many other accounts too. And then Stephen A. Smith, I know from the sports world too. And he's always, again, just kind of mainstream sport guy, but he's got the liberal base still. And he's dropping lots of truth bombs about Trump, and there's many others out there, guys, too, which thankfully, thank goodness that we have this, because there's so many fagas and shills too in the movement, these influencers, and they're all exposing themselves. That's also should let you guys know how beautiful this freaking plan is by Trump always doing these misdirections. All the haters, all the shills expose themselves, right? Trump even said, I want to maybe possibly lose power for a period of time to see who really has my back, right?
Who's loyal? Who's loyal? Yeah.
Who's loyal? And what would be more important, especially when you have this really important plan and you need to have trust and people that you can, you know what I mean, who's loyal. So it's really beautiful how these misdirections, like, oh, Trump's going to go to war, do this. And also to add what Mel was saying is each person has a role too, guys. So don't get caught up in the messenger, listen to the messages. You know, Tucker's going off right now, but it's still important. He keeps highlighting that Israel topic, the thing that Trump can't speak about directly, the thing that we've said, the Anons are here to help elevate that message, because it's just been that infiltrated that it was a political death sentence. Plus you have tons and tons of people, quite frankly, guys, Christians in particular, that think Israel, the country, is like this thing, but it's not actually how that's written in the Bible. So that's a whole complex issue. But the thing is, and Trump has to be careful with that, because that's a huge part of his base. So hopefully you guys are understanding that and seeing this thing playing out, and just, you know, don't get too stirred up in the stuff. Observe it logically, and it's like, okay, they're highlighting this, or maybe it's time to expose this guy's a fake, right? Like and Trump's calling the fakes out right away, just like the one Q job talking about Patriots is signed by Q plus. So Trump's always been paying attention to who the real Patriots are and who's not.
Yeah.
So you'll find it.
Well, yeah, you'll find out.
Like, let's say it's a different thing to describe what a honeypot is, and to show or experience what a honeypot is. You know, like, let's say the Charlie Kirk story and all of that, like diving into that has awakened a lot of people to things that they never really understood or thought, you know,
I think another thing,
assassination and the similarities with, you know, what happened with JFK. I don't think that everybody is going to be able to go back, but they're living through this story that's kind of happening in real time. And it's a part of the awakening, each thing that we go through. And we get to go through it really kind of together in this collective, which is an amazing experience to do. Yeah, Patriots are in control.
Patriots are in control. Well said.
So, yeah, if you want to go to the bottom of Diggers,
okay.
I found that Il Donato, and that's what I used for the theme of today's.
Okay. With the twin, too, and people looking differently. So we showed you the original one that the White House put out, and this came from the Il Donato Trumpo. I was looking in the background, guys. I tried to use QAG. I think
the original, the guy had a mustache and he looked like Kid Rock. To me, he looked like Kid Rock.
I thought it kind of reminded me of, again, one of those pilots, but like
because where did Kyle go? But if you think about it, like what, like in the military, you're not supposed to have a mustache, right? I mean, they're supposed to be.
Oh, you're not, right?
Yeah.
No.
So if you look at the original photo, so there's the one with Trump under the helmet.
Poppy Trumpo posted this one.
Yep.
Okay. So now
so that's DJT under the helmet. But if you look at the original that was retruthed on Sunday, Patriots in Control, you'll see the guy has a mustache. And to me, I thought it was like, oh my God, is that Kid Rock? That's the
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then maybe
there it is.
That one right there.
It looks like Kid Rock, doesn't it?
It does. It with the pointy nose and everything. Yeah. Look at, because in the military they don't wear beards or mustaches. I mean,
no.
Well, there is an exception. I will add. It's interesting is patch. Let me try to zoom in here to the patch because specifically. So okay, I don't know if I can. Where did I find? So it says War Party, which is interesting, VFA-87. So I don't know any situation about that. I just know of one very specific incident where they were allowed to do this. My friends, Navy SEALs, special operators, especially when they were in Iraq and these places, were allowed to have full beards and stuff, especially to blend in. And also that's just how the SEALs and special operators are. They're going to push the envelope. Is it?
Dale Earnhardt. Somebody in the chat said Dale Earnhardt. Yeah, it looks like
Dale Earnhardt. That's good. I gotta hop out just a second. Restream's been a little glitchy. I'll be right back. 1 second.
Oh, that was awesome. Good catch. Yeah. Wow. Burt Reynolds, LOL. Oh my God, look at the comments in the chat. Burt Reynolds, Kid Rock, Dale Earnhardt. Yeah. I would, you could think Magnum PI too, but he had kind of a fatter face, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that
but
is.
his face was a little fatter.
Oh, that's right too. I love is my favorite show, Archer, Sterling Archer. His favorite actor is Burt Reynolds, and in some of the different things. And it kind of reminds me of like Archer. Archer's a cartoon, but it's a younger guy. It's a young, and so that's why I think it's younger than Kid Rock. I think it's a son of one of these people, especially like the White Knight or the Ghost Rider. Could be a son of them, but yeah, Kid Rock.
Oh, whoever's doing those memes that Trump is resharing and Eldonado's resharing, they're mixing and matching the face image in that photograph, which is really, really interesting in itself.
Right. Yeah. Very smooth. Yeah. So that's what Tim's saying is then Poppy Trumpo. I did it with Trump's face on there. So I gotta love that shit.
Wow.
Good times, guys.
It is. It's exciting. I know we're bouncing all over the place, but I mean, it's all relative. Everything has meaning, plus, right, Kyle? I mean, and timing is everything, plus. We saw that in that beautiful Haydon opening. Thanks to Haydon. Shout out to Haydon and the team over there for putting out those daily news-related beautiful videos. Yeah, I mean, of course, we miss Scotty Marr. We used to use a lot of Scotty Marr. Rest his soul. But yeah, we're getting through it all, and it's fun to go over all this and bring in those Q drops, like shine the light and how news unlocks the map, future proves past. It's wonderful, guys.
Yeah, I do believe that the White Hats have used comic relief within this in a lot of different ways. So.
Yes,
and laughter, because they knew that we need to kind of go through the process of these really painful things, emotions and realizations and beliefs being shattered and all of that. And then to have that comic relief, and that's why I love the meme wars and the meme warriors out there who have just, they make me laugh and lighten my day.
Yeah, what we should do, speaking of laugh, we're at the halfway point of our show, 1 hour in, 101 into Q School today. Kyle, if you don't mind, on YouTube, look up BNN. Let's look at the latest, greatest from BNN. That's the little baby Trump and all the little babies, communicating, talking about laughing your ass off. I mean, to me, that's just, it's so gold. BNN is the channel on YouTube, brothers and sisters. If you want to have some comical side of how this is all unfolding and how it's being portrayed, and like Kyle said, even a few weeks ago, he was talking about this, how these kind of little video memes can really unlock the spell that a lot of your loved ones are under still. Like if they're still living through TDS and under the mainstream media's spell. A lot of times you can send them these little baby related video clips, and maybe they'll start laughing, and maybe it'll start, unweaving all the evil spell that they've been placed under.
Yep.
Yeah, I spoke about that a little bit too. It's a way to disarm people because the media doesn't want people listening to Trump. That's why they don't show the rallies. That's why Trump spoke every day during COVID, because when people actually hear him, it starts to make coherent sense. The media has to take short clips, take them out of context and twist them or spin the narrative. That's why they start off with everything. Actually, Nick, what's his name? Nick that did the interviews up there in Minnesota. He was just talking about they always label me fascist, right wing, conservative, and it's like that. The media's like Tim says, think me here with the fake news media. They spin the narrative right away. The reason they make all these labels because then your brain is already judged and decided on that. If Tim is this right wing crazy fascist, you're not going to listen to anything he has to say right out the gate. Okay, so they got to always form and paint that picture. That's how these assholes operate. So, anyways, some people just can't hear Trump. They've been so triggered. And also, but the fact with the baby, it kind of disarms them. They can maybe laugh about it, especially if there's some good humor, especially mix in some left humor, make fun of Trump a little bit, but then actually let him speak. And like Tim's saying, it disarms them and people actually start hearing it. So it does work well. And it's always good to laugh. And you guys should be it's super important. Again, in fact, the darker you go, the more you ought to use humor and stuff also. And that's exactly why Anon's Patriots have used meme warfare to laugh at our pain, to laugh at the absurdity of the world we're in. So as the longer you've been awake, the more crazy it is. But please stay positive, stay excited, because if y'all see, the tide has turned drastically, and in fact all the kicking and screaming just solidifies that they are weak and they're desperate and they're kicking and screaming, and so just hang in there. Yeah, lots of John Perry Barlow, all kinds of Snowden drops. We actually played the Snowden episode. Tim, did you get to watch it at all?
I did not. I saw that you did post that.
Sunday, maybe it was a special Sunday episode. You guys got to see that.
Attaboy. Yeah, thanks for doing that. Yeah. And there are some Snowden drops in the Deltas today too. But did you don't mind playing a little baby clip for everybody?
Yeah, I was trying to look for one that was not so long. Here's Baby Trump and maybe Biden go to therapy.
Oh, that's funny. The guys on Studio 6B played that one last night. You'll love this one. It's good. Talking about walking away. We did the walk away last week. Remember the walk away show?
Oh yeah.
And
okay, so
yeah.
All right. So let me actually change the name. So let's see if we can. Baby News Network.
Yeah, it's BNN. That's how you guys can search it on YouTube. And definitely send those out to your family and friends and let them start sinking their teeth into some of this comical way of showing how this is unfolding in a nice, positive laughter way.
All right, so I'll play it Instagram if you get kicked out or something, because I'll bring it back up, but we'll see how it goes. Let's see.
Okay.
To the therapy session. Now, our therapist, very weak guy, by the way, not a winner. He called off today, couldn't make it, probably emotional, very low energy. So I decided to step up like I always do, because nobody loves helping people as much as I do. I'm not a licensed therapist, but I am a licensed genius, and frankly, that's better. Joe, the floor is yours. Tell me what's going on. Take your time. Actually, don't take too much time, because with you, that could be 3 hours for one sentence.
Well, Doc, can I call you Doc?
You can call me President or Supreme Leader. I answer to both now, actually.
Right. So, look, here's the deal. I've been having these, the dreams, bad ones, real bad. I wake up in the middle of the night sweating, and I hear the laugh, man.
The Kamala laugh?
Don't say it like that. Don't just say it out loud. It comes back. It echoes. I'll be sitting there eating my ice cream, chocolate chip, the good stuff. And then out of nowhere, just right in my ear, like she's in the walls, Doc. She's in the walls.
That sounds like a nightmare, Joe. And I'm very confident it is one, because I've heard the laugh and it haunts me too. But I'm strong enough to handle it. You clearly are not. And that's okay. That's why you're on the couch. Continue.
4 years, man. 4 years I sat next to that. Every meeting, every briefing, every, the thing where you stand at the podium and the cameras are there and you got it. Well, anyway, she'd just start laughing at nothing. Someone would say good morning and she'd go off like a fire alarm in a library. I didn't sleep for a full term. Not one good night. Not one.
I believe it, honestly. Very traumatic. And the Democrats did that to you, Joe, your own party. They stuck you with her. Very cruel people. Lunatics, actually.
You want to know the worst part? I didn't even, look, I'm just going to say it. I didn't even pick her. They told me to pick her. They said, Joe, you got to pick Kamala. And I said, pick who? And they said it again, and I still didn't know who she was. And then she was just there at every meeting, laughing.
Incredible. So they forced her on you, just like a subscription you didn't sign up for. And speaking of subscriptions, Joe,
Test.
Oh, I hate to add another one on you, but go ahead and whip out your
Looks like we're having some more gremlin issues, Brother Kyle. He's probably rebooting the system there right now. But anyway, you guys get the gist of it, right? The hint. I mean, it's so comical and it's so true at the same time. I mean, how can it not break that cognitive dissonance in people's minds watching something like that? I can't take the smile off my face. Right. Everybody's laughing in the chat.
It gets so good. Sometimes I feel like, I don't know if it's restream. Like when we play other people's things, sometimes it kind of gets like, it does this weird glitch because as soon as I hopped out of the restream, the YouTube video starts playing. So I don't know. We'll try it again halfway through. Give it a shot one more time. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
Hang in there.
Descriptions, Joe. I hate to add another one on you, but go ahead and whip out your phone and subscribe to the Baby News Network. Hit the bell. Very important.
Wait, what?
Baby News Network. BNN. Biggest network in the world, probably. Everybody's watching it. You'd know that if you weren't asleep for 4 years.
I don't. Is that on the internet? Jill handles the internet.
Just subscribe, Joe. Have Jill do it. Have the auto pen do it. I don't care. Moving on. What else is bothering you?
And you want to know what else? You want to know what else, Doc? I didn't, and I probably shouldn't be saying this.
No, please. Say it. This is therapy. This is a safe space. I mean, I'm going to tell everybody, but go ahead. Really.
I never signed anything, man.
What do you mean you never signed anything?
The documents, the executive orders, the bills. I didn't sign any of them, not one. They had this thing, this pen thing, the auto pen. It just signs for you. I'd be in the other room eating pudding, and the pen would be in the Oval Office signing stuff with my name on it. I'd see it on the news later and go, oh, I did that. Huh, interesting.
So a robot was running the country?
It wasn't a robot. It was a pen.
Joe, a pen was signing executive orders while you ate pudding. That's a robot. That's a very low-tech robot, but it's a robot. I'm writing this down. This is incredible. Nobody's ever seen anything like it, believe me.
And the thing is, Doc, half the stuff that Penn signed, I don't even agree with. The border stuff, not me. The energy stuff, not me. They'd bring me a stack of papers and I'd say, what's this? And they'd say, don't worry about it, Joe. And I didn't. I didn't worry about it. That was my whole presidency. Not worrying about it.
That actually explains a lot. 4 years of mystery finally solved, and it was on my couch, in my office, with my questions. Very productive session, wouldn't you say?
And you know what, Doc? Can I tell you something real personal?
No, please, go ahead. I'm very confident I'm going to love this.
I think I might be, and don't tell anyone this, I think I might be Republican.
Wait, what? Say that again?
I think in my heart, in my gut, wherever the thing is that tells you who you are, I think I'm a Republican. I like trucks. I like ice cream, but I like it in a cone, not in a cup, which feels Republican to me. I don't understand half of what my party talks about. They lost me around 2020, and I just kept nodding. I've been nodding for 5 years, Doc. My neck hurts.
Joe, what the heck? This is the most lucid you've been in a decade.
I went to one of your rallies once, in disguise, wore a hat. I had a good time. Great energy. Everybody was happy. Nobody was yelling about pronouns. It felt normal. I felt normal.
Okay, and which rally was that?
I don't remember. It was in a state. One of the big ones.
Okay, well, that helps narrow it down to every single one, actually. Great help.
The crowd was doing the chant, the USA one, and I almost joined in. I caught myself, but I almost did, and that scared me more than Kamala's laugh. Almost.
Joe, I'm going to be very honest with you. This is the best therapy session in the history of therapy. Bigger, better, stronger than ever before. You've confessed to election fraud, auto pen government, secret rally attendance, and closeted republicanism in under 10 minutes. I don't even need the full hour. We're done. You're cured.
I feel better already, honestly.
You should. You just switched parties on a couch. Very dramatic, very brave. Now get out. I have a country to run, 2 countries actually. Very busy.
Same time next week?
Absolutely not. All right. That, folks, is what happens when you let your favorite president handle therapy. Very effective, 0 training, and all instinct.
There we go.
That's perfect. Yeah, perfect timing. Yeah, if you can't laugh at that, then I don't know what to tell you. That's beautiful.
Yep. Thanks for that, guys. Appreciate that. Thanks, Melzie, hopping in there. All the diggers in there. Thank you guys so much. Again, still got some notes from a while back. Thanks for all the amazing digs you do, all the comments. Thanks for communicating with each other too. Also appreciate you all. Follow our other channels too if you haven't. Put them on the bottom there to place you all can follow us and stuff. We appreciate it. Try to let you know if we need to take the day off. We're doing the best we can, but we might need some more time. There's a lot of stuff going out there, so go easy on yourselves out there in the world. Also, love. Okay, what else we gonna cover, Tim? And then
okay, well, let's go back into Diggers. And the last thing you read on Diggers was the Trump oil truth that he shared about the oil coming down and all that stuff for all the panicants out there. So if you look just below that, I have where the Trump signs the historic proclamation with the leaders of Hispanic America to combat drug cartels. As you can see, this is all being taken down one domino at a time. 17 countries formed the Shield of Americas, again, headed by Kristi Noem and Rubio and others in the Trump administration. So that article is available there. I'm just reading the headlines. And then just below that, I believe it was Monday when this came out, John Sullivan from Just the News. I always watch John Sullivan, 6 o'clock on Real America's Voice. 6 o'clock can be dangerous. That's where he breaks the FBI secretly seizes election records from Arizona's largest county as voting probe expands. And that, my friends, is Maricopa, including Runbeck. And this is what we're going to get into now with the Q drops pertaining to this news unlocking the map. It's all there. Kyle, whichever one you want to read.
Okay. On the side here, let's do this stuff real quick.
You got the Smartmatic machines in the news now all of a sudden. Don't forget we talked about Maduro's connection way back in the early 2000s, late 1990s into the early 2000s with the voting machines, the irregularities and all the shenanigans there, and now it's coming out.
Okay, so I'm still trying to find the one that you said. You read one, I don't see him.
Well, you got to go up. That's today's news.
Right. I'm just saying, like the ones you were reading, I didn't see which one it is.
Keep going
farther
up.
Okay, farther up. That's what I wasn't. Okay. Arizona, FBI.
Right there. Right there.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is where the news started unfolding on Monday with John Sullivan. Now, we know that they've already gone after Fulton County in Georgia, but we saw that transpire, last month, right? So that's been about a month in the workings now when they raided that big building in Georgia. And now we have the same thing happening in Arizona.
FBI secretly seizes election records from Arizona's largest county as voting probe expands. So we kind of mentioned this at the opening, guys. If y'all staying with us, the largest county in Arizona is Maricopa. So we go over the keyboard and show that. Maricopa.
Type in Maricopa and Runbeck.
Well, there's not many Maricopa ones, so
yeah.
I can do it this way though. So there's not gonna be an and. There's only one, but if you go Maricopa, you can do the slash. So like that, and then Runbeck. So that will get. So we haven't really used that one hardly ever. So here they are though. So these you guys are both relevant to the news. What's going on with the news now? So this is QDrop 2492 all the way back November 12th, 2018, 23:50:47 timestamp. And
didn't you read this in last week's Q schools? I'm pretty sure midweek you brought this one up.
Okay, I might have briefed it. I don't think I've read it in quite a long time, and it's been several months. But this is a good one though. So Arizona here, interesting. We got all caps here because just like the United States is a corporation, each state is also a corporation.
And each city too.
Okay. And I was telling Melzie about that. I saw somewhere it was the police on the side of the vehicle said, "We protect the city." and how sly that is, right? Because it makes it sound, oh, they're protecting our city, but they're actually saying they're working for the corporation, not the people. It's freaking insane, right? Okay, so this Q drop though, in Arizona, the biggest county, Maricopa, that's where Phoenix like 7 million, and all those surrounding areas. So the Republican governor, this was 2018 midterm. Okay, guys, so a little more timeline recap just to understand where we are, guys. I didn't know anything about politics till Q came around. So I found Q in November of 2017. Now we're a full year on Q drops. Prior to it, the midterm seemed like a very big deal. Again, I never even knew what a midterm was. I didn't pay attention. This is my first time I was paying attention. I didn't go vote that one, but I was paying attention. And Trump signed the executive order 13848, September 12th. Let me just bring this one up for us real quick. So I'm talking about executive order 13848. 848. Okay, guys. Show this tab real quick. Establishes sanctions and procedures to address foreign interference in U.S. elections. Okay, but here's the key. It was on September 12th. September 12th. Okay, so that's 9/12 completion. There's the 93 for you, Tim, too. The Colt 9, but also 9/11. This is us completing the plan also. So there it is. Imposing certain sanctions in the event of foreign interference in a U.S. election. Okay, so that led into these midterms. Okay, so leading into this midterms. Now, this was unprecedented because anytime a president is in office, that party, the other party will gain seats in the House and the Senate because the people are motivated because they feel like they lost their the presidency. Okay, no one cared about politics. They've only paid attention to the president. That's why it was easy to have a puppet and play the two-party system because we weren't paying attention to our local elections. We weren't paying attention down the ballot. We just want to know who the president was. So if a Democrat president wins an election, the following midterm, Republicans would gain seats in the House and the Senate. Vice versa. Republican wins the presidency, Bush. Guess what? Following midterm, Democrats gain seats in the House and the Senate. This was unprecedented because the Republican Party gained seats in the Senate, but somehow they lost the House. How would that even make sense in the first place? But we watched it unfold, not comprehending it. The beauty of the plan is we knew they would try to impeach Trump. We knew all this stuff would happen, okay? It's incredible. But let me highlight the drop here. Republican governor won by 328,000 votes in Maricopa. The Democrat senator is winning by 32,000 votes. So it's probably like a current tabulation. They probably were dragging it out too. I think it was the 8th, but that's interesting. And right after the 11/11, they're saying is winning by like it's going to change. A Republican governor won Maricopa County by 325,000 votes. Pretty similar. Okay. Democrat senator winning Maricopa by 32,000 votes. 350,000 vote swing to Democrat senator. So what they're highlighting there too, guys, and the media kind of try to spin this, but they'd rather you not even be talking about this topic because it exposes everything. In this hyper,
would you be called a conspiracy theorist for talking about this? Just
I'd say for sure, right? Yeah. And then no less too, like in this hyper partisan world of politics we're in now, and it's really not right left, it's either Trump or anti-Trump is what it is now. Okay, but let's say either way, there was never going to be an election where somebody's like, all the Republicans voted for this Republican governor, and maybe some Democrats, they like the governor, but then for some reason, somebody in the Democrat Party, they like so much more that hundreds of thousands of people who voted for a Republican governor are going to vote for a Democrat senator. Doesn't make any sense. Okay. And now back to what we were just showing is here it is. FBI secretly seizes election records from Arizona's largest county as voting probe expands. Okay. A grand jury subpoena comes after the Arizona Senate raised concerns during 2020 and the FBI learned of congressional report. Okay. Let's see this one. Actually, I think this is on topic. Let me play this for a second. County election. Here we go.
Ballots were seized. I want to turn a little bit to the affidavit that the FBI unsealed this week for justifying its raid on the Fulton County election warehouse where the 2020 ballots were seized. It had a very important word in it, substantiated, that the FBI had substantiated that certain legally required procedures in Fulton County weren't followed and that some really sloppy things happened. Fulton County admitted to the FBI they double counted ballots. Fulton County admitted they lost some ballots. Fulton County admitted that they didn't follow with some of the state laws, and as a result, there are federal laws that can punish people who don't follow the state laws for administration of elections. It's not the equivalent of having a fake voter or having an illegal vote in an election, but having deterrence so that people follow the way we're supposed to count votes. How important is that to you?
Well, we need to have one set of rules, and then everyone needs to follow the rules. It's why legislation in this space is so important. Then you need to make sure that you're enforcing the law. So it's not only what's the rules on the books, we also need to enforce it.
All right, there. So that's just over on Just the News. Okay, the rest of the article there. Bring us up on the side for now when you get a chance. The FBI is expanding its criminal probe into suspected election irregularities. What's the date on this one? March 8th, updated March 9th. Okay, so just a couple days ago. Secretly obtaining a large tranche. That's an odd word to me. What is that word? Anybody know what that was?
Tranche.
Okay. Can you guys see this dictionary thing that pops up? Is that on your guys' screen too?
No.
Yep. No, it says a portion of something, especially money. They released the first tranche of the loan from 15th century Old French, inchways. Secretly obtaining a large tranche of voting records from Arizona's largest county with a recent grand jury subpoena. Multiple people familiar with the probe told Just the News. So I'm sure this is kind of stuff he was mentioning. The things they admitted to, that was pretty wild. Right. Subpoena comes 5 years after the GOP-led Arizona State Senate conducted a lengthy investigation into the 2020 election. Included there were significant irregularities. That's something though.
No, I'm just excited.
He got bounced again.
All right, I think I'm back.
Okay, you are. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Because even like again, it's like it was when it was in the YouTube video. It's like doing it selectively. Like right now, it's kind of strange. Okay, where was I going with this?
5 years.
5 years, irregularities. Okay, also there's that Q post that the wheels of justice turned slow. Obviously, there's more of this plan. We had to do all the tunnels and all the things behind the scenes. You as a human had to go through your own healing and journey and strengthening. So, golly, what a wild ride. So, Monday, Arizona State Senate President Warren Peterson confirmed his body received a subpoena from the 2020 election records. Late last week, I received and complied with a federal grand jury subpoena for records relating to Arizona State Senate's 2020 audit. So this would actually still be the election after the one that Q was mentioning in the Q drop, but it's Maricopa County right there. They just showed that what Maricopa County, okay, the FBI's records, has the records, FBI. Multiple elections. Let's see, received data under subpoena for multiple elections, including 2020 and 2024. That makes me think when Q asks, or Anon asks, are elections safe? Q says yes, but he says 2020 plus, I think he says. But how do they say that? I'm trying to think what he even says.
It's interesting they left 2022 out of there because that was the Carrie Lake stuff. That's where a lot of the Anons and Truth Warriors really dug in on the election shenanigans that happened during that election with Carrie Lake.
Oh, Carrie Lake. Yeah, and that's Arizona. That's right. Okay, I missed the beginning of what you were saying there.
Yep.
Let's see. Yes, here we go. Will election fraud be revealed soon? This may revisit some of this stuff.
Hi, Carol. I just want to say hi to Carol. That's awesome.
Hey. Awesome. Thank you for the comment. Thanks for sharing that, Mel. Make sure that.
From the 51st state, I might add. Just saying.
Check this drop out, Tim. We talk about divine timing. 9 plus 7 plus 1 plus 1 is what? 17. Oh, wait, did I do my math wrong?
That's 18. 18. There's your
R. April 19th, 2018, 2229, 03 on the timestamp. Anon says, will election fraud be revealed soon? Look at that timestamp, 22, 22,
yes, look how long
51 with the white hat. Yeah. It says, yes, midterms are safe. Watch CAQ. What's Canada's abbreviation in the mail, Tim? What two-letter?
Well, it's CA or CAN in most cases, CAN, right. But this is California, and there's some great things happening in California right now behind the scenes too. I've been following a lot of that. Right now, the two top candidates for the entire state of California are leading the polls are Republicans, 1 and 2.
Nice. The tide's turning. That's without. That presidential election and safeguards against future uncover.
Or is it Delta?
I'm looking for that one where it says plus. Give me just 1 second, guys. It was kind of similar with the guys asking about the fraud, but he says safe though. I thought the anon asked if they're safe specifically. Here's a good one. This all connects everything we're about to be covering, though. I'm going to read this one quickly. 4960, November 7th, 2022. So this was after that big break and the Q drops, which was interesting too, Tim, playing the Snowden when I was talking about Q drop. 4953 was the last Q drop. We were doing shows back then. It's pretty cool to watch that. November 7th, though, 2022.
Right around the midterms, right? That would have been your 2022 midterms, folks.
Yep. And I think it was during the counting, probably even because you're still during those COVID. I think this one was on the 5th or the 3rd, or we have to double check. Yeah, I want to check that in the diggers. When was the midterms in 2022? Okay, Q says, or do you want to read this one, Tim? Do you mind?
Sure. Why do some elections take more than a day to count? Can cheating be done after the polls are closed? Who controls the poll books? Who controls the databases? Who controls the elections? Why are extra ballots printed? This makes me think of run back. We're going to get there, folks. If someone doesn't vote, can bad actors hijack their vote? Yep. How? Obviously through the voter roll system. Why did the National Guard activate cybersecurity teams? Patriots are in control, Melzie. Just saying. Who gave the order to activate the cybersecurity teams? Why? To protect the elections? To claim the midterms are safe? Safe from what? Setting the stage? Watch carefully. White hats have secured many systems, but problems still remain. You have all the tools you need. Vote. Sign Q.
Whew, if that's not a Timbo 17 Q drop right there. I didn't know the end there, Tim. I just was called. I knew we were supposed to read that drop, and this is kind of like everything Tim's talked about.
Yeah.
The stage is being set up for this year's midterms, no doubt. This all leads to the biggest midterm election in the history of the United States of America, in the 250th year of the United States of America. Just saying, guys. One, another, to another, to another.
And I got to add, like, as an anon through this whole movement, guys, the incredible way this plan works and with the quantum nature is like experiencing this in real time, what it was about, and then Q using disinformation or mirrors to trick the deep state into thinking that was that point, and then us seeing it down the road, how it still connects in the full circle. So even for this one, like let's say at this time it's in 2022, right? So and they're talking about the midterms, but and again, they were claiming safe. Again, it goes forward and backward. Who is they talking about when they say to protect the elections, to claim midterms are safe? Would that be, again, the left claiming that under Biden? Or is Trump going to do that right now with this Save America Act, right? So now we can prove that it's safe or say that's safe. So there's all this like back and forth. It's so wild to experience this whole journey with this, and it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. What do you got, Mel?
I got John Solomon at the bottom of Diggers, and I'd love to play it right after this. He talks, Andrea, she posted it, and yeah, it has DNI Gabbard, and the FBI will release declassified documents over the next 10 days. So if you would want to just play that like after this, I think it'll tie into what we're talking about.
Okay, and I think that's kind of what Tim was talking about too, and we'll do the run back also. So is my screen black? You guys see me?
It's got a big Q, a big beautiful Q on it.
There we go. So the elections. I'm gonna scroll one more because I want to see if that one. This one's really cool. We covered that one. Nothing could stop what's coming. We've been showing that. The SZA, okay. The group there. We did see an old recording. we're always going to share the truth, whether we're right or wrong. We're going to keep it 100 here. So we played an old recording, and I did click the National Council of Statewide Interoperability Coordinators, and the NSWIC is what I call it. The Nothing Can Stop What's Coming acronym was up there in one of these tabs, but you had to be under this tab to see it. So I don't know if that had changed, but that's a big deal though. Still, it's right there. This is SZA, your cyber infrastructure and security agency. They cover everything from our dams and waterways, electrical grid, our election systems, all the infrastructure of the United States of America. And Trump is the one that actually created this agency. It was already based under, I think, Department of Homeland Security, but then it basically became its own thing under Trump. And that also makes sense, guys. If you create a new agency, you can filter in and monitor who comes to your agency now, right? You have that. So that's how Space Force worked too. We were watching all these people in the military to see who was really a patriot or not, and then we create Space Force. It tricks them. They thought we were going to use the NSA to do this, but no, it was something they didn't see coming. It was another branch of the military, 18th Intelligence Agency specifically, was Space Force. So it's really beautiful to see this whole plan play out. All right, so back to the Q drop though, and then I still was just gonna look for that one that has +1. So it's not that. Maybe let me try +1, and then I want to do the run back one, and then we'll do Melzie's thing with John Solomon. We'll go full circle with it, Tim.
Yeah, and then I've got 3 John Solomons coming up too, because I do want to talk about the voter rolls, which was Harmy Dillon last night. She was on Solomon last night, and that's people are maybe not paying as much attention to it as I am, maybe, but that's huge. That's a big deal, and she talks about that and how that's all being cleaned up prior to the midterm elections, folks.
Yeah, and I need to see that just even catch up with what you're saying. Oh, here we go. Here's the one I was looking at. I did +1. That's and again, different searches, guys. Try different things. +1. There's also a plus space 1, which is that connects to Joe Biden. I think if I have that correct. Here's the one I was thinking of though. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's a little bit unrelated, but made me think of this though, because when does NDA expire regarding judge report sale to foreign entity? Think 2020 _P election +1. So I don't know. I guess I thought they said something about them being protected, and I was thinking, but it drops a little different than I thought it was. But I found what I was looking for at least, so I can put that away. So let's do this run back one. Here's the 2 drops we talked about. Okay, 2018, guys. Arizona, Maricopa County, right in the news. We were just covering that. John Solomon, again, Maricopa County is the one that's right there. Boom. Okay, so back to the Q drop. That's that one. And the other one here relevant to that, and the other one we just read too, is this 4963. So you want to just read this one real quick?
It's from 2022, folks. Pay attention. This was the latest batch from the Q drops. This was one of them, including the Cassidy Hutchison one, which Melzie brought up earlier in the show, which also smacks one of those Q drops that came out in late 2022.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yep. Full circle, guys. Again, everything Q's talked about is playing out right freaking now. We got run back, Maricopa, Patriots are in control, and we got Cassidy fucking Hutchinson. You gotta be kidding me. I love it.
I know it's crazy. So this one here, again, this is what John Solomon and Harmy Dillon and others are going to be talking about. Runback, Dominion, think of the machines. Runback is the company that prints all the ballots and everything, and you're going to hear some things that John Solomon talks about. Secretary of State offices, that's huge. Secretary of States, most of them have been installed, not elected, but they've been pushed into those positions in order to control the criminal syndicate. Investigators, we just read that 2018 Q drop about the cybersecurity team watching everything. We have it all, aka we have it all. Researchers, which is us, the Anons, showcasing this, and the researchers from the fraudulent elections, all that. Remember all the investigative work they did with the different color booths. Remember they had that all set up in Maricopa, guys. You can go back in time and see how they did that. The cybersecurity team broke down every single ballot. Whistleblowers, they're all starting to come out now, fast and furious. Trust Grassley. Think of Grassley and Graham. Grassley and Graham hits a delta today in regards to whistleblowers. Just saying. Patriots in trusted positions. Who's in control, Melzie? Patriots. Trust yourself. You have seen the truth, brothers and sisters. Time to show the world. Focus, Ascension Q. Oh my God, I got goosebumps. Let's go.
Nice one, Timbo. Nice one, Timbo. We're gonna show you quantum style. I'm gonna read it back to you from the people here. Q Ascension. This is for you, Anons. Focus. Time to show the world. You have seen the truth. Trust yourself. Patriots in trusted positions. Whistleblowers, researchers, investigators, SOS offices, all of us out there screaming from the big horn with a big megaphone all the way across the world, Anons. Let's go. Dominion, it's our Dominion. You run back, they got to run. They're going down. Watch them all tumble and fall, baby. Watch them all tumble and fall. One of the last Q drops. One of the last ones. Is that the?
Yep.
Is that the very last one?
It is the last one.
So play Melzie's video, and then we'll go right into the John Solomon's. Bang, bang, bang. We'll hit those, pound those ones off hard, and that'll get us close to near the end, and basically tie this all together for you guys.
Yes. Let me bring some back up. Yeah, guys got black screen again.
It's keeping us on the side instead of bringing us over again.
It's all right. It'll come up in just a second.
All right.
I think. Maybe I'll hop out one more time. Right back, Tim.
Okay. Melzie, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty excited about how this is unfolding. I mean, news unlocks the map just about every single day, and multiples. I mean, we're getting multiple hits over the weekend and up until today, and there's more to come, more D-class. Oh, man, it's exciting.
Indeed it is. Thanks for the recap there, brother. Actually, let me bring up the there it is. Diggers. Okay, so it's at the bottom of Diggers, I think now, right? The video.
Yeah.
And Andrea shared this.
Yeah.
Go to Facebook.
Andrea does a good job over there, Sharon. She's such a good warrior.
Yeah. Tag me if you're watching there, Andrea, on the YouTube, on the Facebook things. You check out other people, tag me in there. Helps. All right, let's see here. Go follow our beautiful sister Andrea. Okay, let's see this about John Solomon. How long is this? Where's our volume?
We are going to be able to get, for the first time, I've been able to start processing these documents, large body of evidence that's in the intelligence community that raises concerns about foreign interference in our elections. That'll probably be the end of this week or early next week. The documents are explosive. They're really remarkable. And what's most remarkable is that all this has been kept a secret from the American people, possibly President Trump in some cases, until recently, of course, when his team told him. I think there's a lot there. And then in between those two things, we're going to reveal another code-named FBI investigation that targeted President Trump, one you've never heard of before, one that may be among the most troubling. We have Crossfire Hurricane, of course. We've got Plasmic Echo, and we have the third one that targeted the January 6th investigation, Arctic Frost. There's another one that is really deeply troubling. It's troubling to the FBI. It's troubling to the intelligence community. It seems to involve speech delimiters. In other words, if you said something or you spoke a certain way about a certain issue, you potentially were deemed a national security threat to the United States, and you were put under an assessment and potentially criminal investigation. So I learned of this operation because I was targeted in 2022. I had to cooperate with the Justice Department. When the Justice Department and I talked, they realized that their entire theory of the case was ludicrous. But as a result of that, I've been on a 2.5, 3-year mission to get these documents, to get the truth out about what happened. Recently, FBI agents working for Kash Patel found this operation, found the skiff that it was hidden, found the code word name for it, found the prohibited access files. So one of the things that Chris Wray's people did is they would start these political investigations targeting Trump or even someone else. They would keep it off the books. Most people could not see it in the FBI Sentinel system. This one was one of those well hidden. As a result of some senior leadership that worked around Kash Patel. You know, there were people that were in this era that knew what was going on. In some cases, maybe even been required to work on certain things. They knew what was going on, and they've been guiding Kash Patel to these records and helping him find these records in the labyrinth of secrecy that Chris Wray's FBI created. So these senior executives are really helping uncover some really jaw-dropping stuff. And I think in the next couple of days, people will see that as well. And so the focus in this grand jury subpoena that went in the last few days to Maricopa County, seized many gigabytes of election data, is the 2024 election, which is interesting because President Trump won there. But there is a discovery that was made by congressional observers. Every year, the House Administration Committee sends observers, one Democrat, one Republican, to various voting centers.
one of the teams, the Republican Democrat team that went to Maricopa County, observed something very disturbing. They took pictures. They wrote a long report. Congressman Abe Hamadeh hinted at this in an oversight letter recently. The information in that report was so troubling to the FBI, and when coupled to the things that the Arizona Senate found in 2020 that were raised as concerns, and the things that Hamadeh and Kerry Lake raised in 2022, they were able to get a grand jury subpoena from a federal grand jury and execute the transmission of a large amount of voter data. They're going to go through that data, looking for some of the telltale signs that were in this congressional report. I hope in the next couple of days to make that congressional report public so everybody can see what it was that observers on Brian Stiles' House Administration Committee saw. Brian Stile himself acknowledged that they were working with federal authorities on this specific Arizona matter. So you got Congress working with the FBI. And I think this is phase 2 of about a 5-phase look at states, particularly blue states or blue areas of states where elections are not administered the way the law says they're supposed to be. And as a result, the FBI may come in and prosecute people because it is a federal felony if you don't follow your state's laws, if you don't treat everybody the same under your state law. So that's where we're at today. Now, over the next 10 days, Steve, we're going to have a lot more.
All right.
10 days.
Started there.
10 days. Oh, shit. Oh,
He said
shit.
10 days. I missed that one. There were so many Qisms, so many different things there. Let me just take you through just a couple of them, especially for the full Q-tards here on Q School. He said he's an investigator. He said investigator. Shout out Brittany for making sure. I don't know if we have investigator down. We may, but she said that. So investigator was just in that last Q drop we read too. This one, Runback, Dominion, SOS, investigator without the S. Exactly 17 Q drops. John Solomon said he was targeted. How many targeted Q drops? Targeted. ED, 45 Q drops. He was targeted. So I'm kind of curious about, and then he also said Skiff. Skiff is in the Q drops. Look at 10 drops with Skiff. Ooh, less than 10 in the Skiff. That's interesting.
And he said 10 days. He said 10 days.
10 days. I love this one too. If you type 10 days like this, only one Q drop. 10 days. Q drop 88, Trump 88, simple English strategy. Remember, 5th of November, 131 also in there. 10 days, darkness, scare tactics, mainstream media, D's falling, R's walk away and removed, SA to US, Asia to EU. Disinformation is real. Distractions are necessary. Focus was USA Today, while real happening in SA under same context. Military control, martial law, missile strike, rogue, etc. Okay, lots of double, triple meanings in there. That could be South America, South Africa. Okay, also Saudi Arabia, of course. Necessary. POTUS's Twitter attack. See above, important. Why is this relevant? What was the last tweet? I don't think I want to keep going. Let's keep going here. But operators in the U.S. Snow White, The Great Awakening, Godfather 3Q. That's right.
Military operations was a key point in that.
Military. I wanted to do whistleblower too. Let's see, whistleblower. 29 Q drops. So let me put the S on there. Maybe we'll find another one. Let's do it with the plural. Drum roll. Whistle. If I can spell it right twice. Blowers. Oh, I felt like it was maybe coming 6 of them. So 29 though with one whistleblower. So that's interesting, certainly.
And it hits the Rumbeck one right there, right on the top left.
Yeah, that's why I was saying, yeah. So let's try researchers too then, because I did investigator. I knew. Thank you, Brittany, again. But let's try researchers and see what that one comes up. And then he said, yeah, dude, the Skiff. He said Skiff. 4 of them with researchers. So let's try plural or singular researcher. 4 drops also. So they're all researchers. All of them are researchers. Okay. Excellent. You cannot fool a massive group of dedicated gold star researchers. At what point does it become mathematically impossible, Tim? Comms structure designed for a very specific reason. Treason is the reason. Because these assholes committed treason and we had to go around them. We had to go around them like nobody's ever gone around them to complete this plan. And what a ride it's been.
Well said. Well said. Okay, in the interest of time, scroll back a
Yeah,
bit.
let's wrap it
Go up to the. I've got the 2 short clips of Solomon this morning on War Room back to back. They're about 2-3 minutes in length, each one of them, and then below is the one where I send you at the. It's the Just in the News cleaning up voter rolls at 21:45 timestamp. You'll see it there if you scroll up.
Let me just pop on and show me what you. Just watch my screen because I saw a couple of them. You had some of the Rumble ones below. I want to play this one though. Actually, I haven't seen it. Let me play this one. A little 17-second clip.
Walk it like I talk it, ay. Walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it.
I'm gonna bomb the shit out of them.
Let's go. Take my shoes and walk a mile, something that you can't do. Woo. Hey. Big talks of the town, big boy gang moves. Gang moves. I like to walk around with my chain.
That's right, Poppy Trumpo. Get him. Get him.
Go get him.
Walk it like I talk it.
White House.
Walk it like I.
It's the White House putting that out there, man. If you can't understand, we have the coolest, greatest president in history of the world and the amazing team behind him. I don't know.
No, the White Hats are having fun. They're having fun, brothers and sisters.
Let's cover this one real quick. I don't want to go to, but y'all, because of course I lived out this way. This major comms we've had with the Alaska stuff. We've had the flyover.
Part of the 3 movies playing out. This is relative to that. Movies 4, 5, and 6.
Guardians of Pedophiles. FBI Director Kash Patel put out at FBI Anchorage and our partners took down an international child abuse ring. The alleged individual who operated it. Thank you to our agents and great partners for executing the mission and saving lives. So again, specifically in connection with Anchorage and Alaska and stuff too. So shout out them. Thank you, Q Team and Alliance for protecting the children. Pretty awesome.
Okay, there's the start. So there's that one, then the one below it, and then the longer one with Harmy Dillon about the voter rolls.
Do each of these have videos though, or you want me to just go to the article?
No, the 2 videos should be.
It's the ones right below them. These Rumble ones, then probably right. That's what it is. This one here, tens of thousands non-citizen. Okay, cool.
Yes. Yep.
Rumble's a good link. So we're gonna play this.
Yeah, please.
Okay, perfect. Move this tab. They're fighting us, Tim. They're still fighting us out here. Okay, there it goes. Finally. Interesting obstacles. Okay, here we go.
John Thune has scheduled a potential vote as early as next Thursday for the Save America Act. That will be the first time we can see which Republicans aren't willing to support it, which Democrats are or aren't willing to support it, and it will be a flesh it out sort of moment for who's on board with a proposition that's 85% popular in America. And I think that will be a moment of pressure. It's really a roll call so that the grassroots efforts can then begin for the White House to target the people that should be in favor of this and aren't. And then when they get to a certain number, then the pressure will begin on John Thune to do a one-time exemption to the lazy, sleepy filibuster and make people stand on their feet and talk the way the founding fathers of this country did it. They weren't lazy guys that wouldn't stand for their filibusters. Calhoun and Clay and the great early members of the founding fathers, they actually were willing to be on their feet and talk, not like the fellows we have now that would rather sit in their wheelchair and not have to talk and say, we have a filibuster anyway. So that's the 2 or 3 step process that's going to occur. Now, the big news is we're starting to get the data points that can educate senators and House members and the members of the public about what's actually happened, not what's suspect to have happened, but what actually has happened. Last night, we had Harmeet Dillon, the Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights. She oversees all the voting decisions in America, the Justice Department oversight of voting. She has obtained 16 states' voter rolls. She is fighting to get 29 more. She's in litigation. This is the largest federal check of voting rolls in the history of America. It is a one-time integrity check to make sure that we to make sure that states are doing what the law requires them to do, which is to keep their voter rolls healthy, to keep non-citizens off the rolls, to keep dead people off the roll, to keep people who move to another state from being registered in multiple states illegally. What she told us last night should inform every senator who's making a decision on whether they're going to vote for the Save America Act. The first 16 states, she has found tens of thousands of non-citizens, some of them illegal aliens, who have made it in a position to vote because they got onto the voter rolls despite all the claims that we've got a perfect system. Then she said they have proven already dozens of illegal aliens and non-citizens have actually cast ballots in federal elections, and they've only begun the process. They're less than half of the states. And by the way, the big states are resisting, right? California, New York. So these patterns are already forming in states, by the way, some states which have pretty good voter rolls.
California, New York, and the Q
An
drop.
informational point that every
Watch
senator should
California,
have on
watch
their
New
front page.
York.
We should know
Let's go.
by state the number of non-citizens that got on the rolls, the number of dead people that were on the rolls. Now, so let me break this down. Tens of thousands of non-citizens got on the rolls. Dozens of non-citizens voted illegally. One of them was just indicted Monday in Pennsylvania. He voted in 7 consecutive presidential elections, an illegal alien from Mauritania in Africa. And then she said there were hundreds of thousands of dead people that they were able to find on the voter rolls who were still active on these states. That's just the first 16 states. That's a data point that the White House and the Senate leadership should get to every senator. And the Justice Department should break it down by state. Just in these 16 states, here's the numbers. Start educating people about how loose the system is. There's a false sense of security that has wavered over this debate, and it's time to give people the data points. And that's what we were able to get out of Harmeet Dillon last night.
Oh, baby. Oh, and we're going to play that. We're going to play that episode, but we've got one more short clip, Kyle, if you don't mind going to the next one now. Let's go to the next one, and then we'll Harmeet Dillon. Listen closely to what she says to John Sullivan.
Yeah, hopefully you guys are getting excited about this stuff again. When he was playing some other ones, I was like dancing in the background, like this is everything we waited for, Tim. You know what I mean? And like this is crazy, and it's lining up so perfectly. Oh man, what
it is. And you mentioned 29. He mentioned 29 other states. That 29 was the whistleblowers.
Yeah. So I see 3 of these different Rumble ones. Is that what you had, Tim?
The one below it is the story was everybody is a conspiracy theorist, which we talked about. That's a good one. And then the one below that is the longer version. That's Harmeet Dillon, and you got to start that one at 21:45. Mark.
Okay, so let's play this shorter one here first, real quick, and then this one with Bannon. Yeah.
Yep.
Congressional Observer report that Republican and Democrat who went together and went to the Runbeck Center and saw something that they found in their own words, not my words, their words, alarming, that you had active ballots that were filled out sitting alongside of blank ballots. That is as Harmeet Dillon said on the show last night, that is ludicrous. That should never happen. And so they took pictures of it. They had eyes on confirmation. It was enough that Brian Stile made sure the FBI knew about it as the chairman of the House Administration Committee. It is that sort of stuff that makes people nervous. And listen, it may just be incompetence. It may have been good intentioned people doing bad things. But when you get a visual like that, and by the way, this report has visuals in it. You can literally see paper. I also believe the congressional observers took video footage. And I think that video footage, if it becomes public, will be eye-opening to people because you can hear the Democrat and Republican saying, what the heck? What's going on here? I think that that's the sort of thing because the story in Maricopa County is everybody is a conspiracy theorist and everything is perfect here. And those pictures are probably going to show something imperfect. Doesn't mean it's illegal. Doesn't mean it's foreign, nefarious. We don't know enough yet. But getting to those sort of failures, hiccups, mistakes, whatever they are, is an important part to curing the system. Harmeet was sitting right alongside of me last night. She was an observer in Maricopa County in 2024 as a private lawyer working for the Republican Party. She said she observed things that would make your eyes roll to the back of your head. That is the sort of data we need to get to the senators and to the members of Congress and to the American people because they've been force-fed this thing that our system is perfect. It's still a great system, but it is far from perfect. So they fear the idea that incompetence and incongruities are going to be exposed. Next week or in the week after, I think by the end of this month, Steve, we'll get the second component of this. A lot of people don't know this because we don't cover this, but in London, there was a major scandal about a year ago when the British government acknowledged that China hacked into voter data systems and got the voter identities of many British citizens. Great Britain was enormously alarmed. I think the American public will soon get a sense of alarm about issues like that. Things that our CIA and our DNI and our FBI and our HSI have known about for years. And I think that's the part of HSI being on the ground and elsewhere that they're beginning to look at. which is what were their voter identities stolen by a foreign power that in the future, present or past, have been used for influence measures, and our government has kept silent about it. I think John Ratcliffe, Tulsi Gabbard, Kash Patel, Harmeet Dillon are going to be able to educate the public when these declassifications finally occur. And we're going to look a lot more like Great Britain, which is we should be alarmed. And by the way, we can fix this. We've just been asleep at the switch because our intelligence agencies have not given the American public the truth.
We have it all. We have it all. Let's go.
Well said, brother. So you want me to go right to the other clip now?
Yeah, just before you do, let me set the stage. So Harmeet Dillon, who John Solomon just and I didn't know this until he said that, because I know we did a lot of research back in the 2022 stolen midterm elections with Kerry Lake and all of the, and of course all the investigative work that happened shortly thereafter. And they labeled us conspiracy theorists for doing so. I mean, we're fighting like hell, the Anons, the Truth Warriors. But she's the next new. She was placed into the Trump version 2 administration as an AAG. How many times have we talked about AAGs, pal? And she's specifically in charge of the entire country's voter systems. And and what she says with John Sullivan, this is going to blow your mind, folks. Like, you want to talk about Patriots in control and how it had to be this way. They've already had this information. They've already trapped the deep state and the globalists. They got them trapped. They got them cornered. How do you corner a dangerous animal? Well, you're about to find out. And Harmeet Dillon explains the process that they're going through. And this is all going to come out to we, the people, the public, prior to the midterm elections, folks. Man, buckle up. It's going to be fun.
Did you hear John say run back center?
Yep.
Yeah, run back and everything the Q job's talking about, run back.
Yeah, and conspiracy theorists.
Everybody's a conspiracy theorist. He was saying that was their narrative. There's the double speak. Because what he was referencing is saying everybody in Maricopa is saying, oh, but it's a conspiracy theorist that all these election things have happened. Like, yeah, okay. And isn't that ironic too? And this is how you wake up the public, guys, right? They said Pizzagate. They said Epstein was a conspiracy theory, and now everybody knows that's not true. So everybody's like, oh, wait a minute. So the election's going to be the very next thing, too. And then that's why, how could you be against it when Trump's saying, let's secure the elections? You're going to look real silly. Just like we said, we've cornered them into a trap. We've made them support illegal immigrants. They called him a Maryland man. Not only was he never a Maryland citizen, not only was he never American citizen, he was actually here illegally. He'd been given his chance to do his thing, and he's told to leave. Didn't do that. Not only that, he's actually a domestic abuser, and he's part of this horrific gang. And like, you made them support.
And he's MS-13, which there's a lot
MS-13,
of MS-13
control.
Yep.
MS-13 Q jobs all over the place, right? And then Trump asked them, do you stand up if you support American citizens over illegal immigrants? And they didn't stand up. So we're going to see the same thing. Now they're going to try to say the elections are fine, or they're already spinning the narrative. This to get big names. So if y'all can help me make some videos, let's all work on it. Again, we've covered this on Q School. I know sometimes it's mixed in with lots of information, but the Supreme Court ruled that it was not racist to have a voter ID lie. That's in 2008, right from the Q drops. We've done that stuff, okay? And then making the memes how absurd it is. They're still trying to spin that narrative. So it's like, no, the Supreme Court's already ruled on this. So if you're against this, you're against the Supreme Court. You're against the Constitution of the United States. Which way do you stand? They're against American citizens. Now they're going to make them stand against the Constitution. They always claim rule of law, but they don't even fucking know the Constitution. It's bullshit. And the people are awake. The people are awake. They know what's going on. Get ready for the tumble and fall. It's all happening right before our eyes. Special time.
Well said, brother. All right.
What was that timestamp? You said 21 something?
10:45, I believe. It says right above it. I wrote it right above it.
Okay. Can you check on? I keep that the Telegram channel closed because I think it slows down the.
I just closed my device. I think.
Okay.
10:45. I think 10:45.
Yeah, no, it's 21:45. Okay.
Or 21:40. Oh, thanks for looking. Yeah, 21:45.
I heard you say 21, so I thought it was.
Okay.
Operation Fund today.
Here we go. Pay attention. Listen closely.
Welcome back, everybody. We got a real treat for you. The woman who has overseen, I think, one of the most significant election integrity efforts in my entire time in Washington, getting voter rolls that were long dirty, long overdue for updates, getting them clean and ready for the 26th election. That is something that benefits everyone, whether you're a Republican, Democrat, Independent. She's the Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights at the Justice Department, Harmeet Dillon. She joins us right now. Harmeet, great to have you here.
Thanks for having me, John. It's wonderful to be here in person.
It's an honor to have you here. Amanda's going to be bummed that she missed you today. She's out at the White House. But I want to start with the success we have, because we hear, all right, motions were taken, lawsuits were taken, there are consent decrees going on. You've made a lot of states do something they haven't done in a long time. Bring us up to speed on the progress.
Well, I'm happy to say that we've either reached a settlement with every state that has voter rolls, or we are in litigation with them. And so far we have voluntary compliance with 16 jurisdictions that have either just given us their voter rolls in response to our data requests, or they've signed memorandum of understanding and then given us their voter rolls. The latest one was just uploaded last Friday. And then we are in litigation with 29 jurisdictions and the District of Columbia, and North Dakota has a kind of strange system where it doesn't have like static voter rolls. And so, this is a really important project for election integrity, and it's never been done by the DOJ before. And so people have to understand the number of hoops we have to jump through and their sensitivities. I've sued red states and blue states alike in our wave of lawsuits last week with 5 states that had refused to comply. They include 4 Republican majority states: Oklahoma, Kentucky, West Virginia, and I'm blanking on the other one, and then New Jersey, of course, and so Utah. Utah is the 4th one. So, it's interesting. Some secretaries of state say, okay, well, I'm a scaredy cat. I need a judge to tell me to give it to you, and then I'll give it to you. Some say we have state data privacy laws, which they know because they're lawyers, are subject to federal supremacy. So they're, and also, we have to keep Social Security numbers private from the federal government. The federal government issues those Social Security numbers. And finally, some of these states, some of these red and blue states, voluntarily hand over their roles to Eric and other groups like that, but not the government. And so we want every American citizen to feel confident in voting and feel confident in the outcome of that election, and that is why we're undertaking this massive project.
Well, a lot of people ask, all right, so you get the voter rolls, you're just going to look through and make sure that they're compliant with federal law. That's really the goal. And if you find a problem, you're just going to alert the states to fix it, right?
Yeah, that's the purpose of this exercise. So what we are finding, and what some states which are uploading their voter rolls voluntarily, which they can now do without charge, they used to have to pay DHS to do this. We're finding tens of thousands of non-citizens on the voter rolls, hundreds of thousands of dead people on the voter rolls, and duplicate registrations between states. And what's happening?
Tens of thousands of, and then hundreds of thousands of dead people on the voter rolls, guys. They never clean these rolls off. It's truly absurd when people find out how disgusting the theft has been.
In the past, you may ask, why don't states clean it up themselves? Well, sometimes it's just inefficiency, but more times it's actually states wanting to clean up their voter rolls, and the Mark Eliases of the world and even the DOJ suing them to stop them from cleaning up their own voter rolls. And so, I don't blame states in a way, because it's whiplash. Suddenly the federal government is saying, please do your jobs.
Whiplash!
A year ago, they were saying, don't do your jobs. And so, but that's the law of the land, and Congress passed those laws, and as long as that's my statutory mandate, that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, no, it's an impressive thing. And when you say tens of thousands of non-citizens made the voter rolls, people say, well, we keep being told there's no problem there. That's a problem, because some of those people, like this one person got indicted this week, sometimes they get to vote.
And for every person that we've seen a story about, I know of dozens and dozens more cases, and U.S. attorneys' offices are wanting to bring these cases, but we have, of course, interference with the very appointment of these U.S. attorneys at the political level. So that's above my pay grade, but it's really frustrating that we're being prevented from doing our job sometimes at the DOJ at the local level.
14 months in, there aren't top line prosecutors in many of these places.
I mean, I can tell you your executive branch is working very hard here.
No, you guys are. There's no doubt about it. All right. Earlier last month, we had a raid in Georgia. We know what the FBI said the reason was. There was a grand jury subpoena confirmed by the Arizona State Senate President yesterday in Maricopa County. The FBI affidavit, I think, did an education service to a lot of people. People, I don't think, understand that if you administer your election for a federal election and you don't follow your state laws, and that's intentional, you do it intentionally, it actually becomes a federal offense. That's sort of what's going on here. Right? You're trying to make sure that people are following the rules that they told their voters they would follow.
Well, that's right. And, I can't talk about the details of these matters. And I will say that my jurisdiction statutorily is civil in nature. And so my colleagues, after we've tried to go through the front door and get these materials voluntarily, if they're not complying to help them do their jobs correctly, then it may become criminal in nature, or at least certainly grand juries have agreed with the request for this information. And so, then we're going to look at them, and the FBI is doing their investigative work to see what they find, and then ultimately that may come back to some component of DOJ to bring charges or pursue that. But I can say, as a lawyer who, taking off my government hat and putting on my former political hat, I was on the ground in the last two election cycles in 2022 and 2024 in Arizona, in Maricopa County specifically. And you don't know whether it's incompetence or deliberate malfeasance, but either way, it is a shambolic, bleep word show of a election process that leaves many citizens feeling like they shouldn't vote because they see the wrong paper being loaded. They see ballots being transported without proper security under state law. And then they see unclean voter rolls that are in violation of our federal election laws. And so we want every citizen to have the same outcome in the elections of our country as citizens in Iraq had when they vote,
We certainly could hit that. We should be able to hit that mark pretty easy. But it's been the last 10 years. And, I went back 15 years in newspaper clips. And it's interesting, back in 2012 and 14 and 16, the Democrats were claiming Maricopa County was a problem. And then the Republicans started saying it. And the Democrats suddenly defended the bad behavior that they used to like. Or used to protest. It does seem like this is a moment where we can make really significant changes. Last night, we have got a hold of this report that the House administration.
I just want to step in there. That you can just everything we talked about there, guys, and that we have all the tools we need. It's being exposed there too, and then we got to step forward and do this. I was going to say one more thing. Want me to let them keep going for a little bit, Tim? So I'm finished up here. Okay, I'm gonna keep
Yeah, for sure. She says a couple more dynamite things in this one. Her and John.
Awesome. This is powerful. It lines up everything. I stopped at 1 hour. It's 1 hour and 57 seconds was this episode.
157. Here we go.
Yeah, there it is. There we go. White Hat's in full control.
Committee said it was an observer report. They went to a warehouse called Runbeck and they found live ballots and blank ballots side by side in a warehouse. I said, that's really strange. By the way, no government officials or observers. They actually crashed the place. When you see something like that, that doesn't sound like a good practice.
It's a horrible practice. And Runbeck, of course, runs the elections in Maricopa County. And, and many other places. It's a company that does that. And, there's state laws that say, for example, when ballots are transported from a voting place to the central count area, they have to be like police escorts, and they should be treated like gold. They should be treated like Fort Knox. And they're not. They're treated like like throwaway shoppers. They're treated like those coupons you get for your grocery store, and that's outrageous. It's the most precious of our civil rights, and it should be treated as such.
Yeah, it's such an important moment. I think people are listening like, wait, we got this bad, but we did get this bad over time. It's a remarkable thing. I want to turn to one other thing. I often go back and refer to this extraordinary interview a few months ago, but people look at the weaponization there and they say, well, a lot of people's civil liberties just got violated. I mean, their privacy. Heck, if the reports are true, the White House Chief of Staff and the current FBI Director had their phone records rummaged through by the FBI. When you look at where we are, just what's in the public domain, is there a strong case to be made that civil liberties are violent and that it could be criminal in nature?
Well, it could be. A lot of the stuff has been concealed. I think it's come out there that FBI has found things and restricted access, prohibited access. Things have been dumped and shoved and mislabeled deliberately and concealed. And that itself is, of course, obstruction of justice. And so getting pulling on that thread and untangling it and getting to the bottom of it is a challenge. And you see a lot of frustration online, John. I get it on just about every time I announce something that my office has done almost daily or sometimes more than once a day.
Definitely.
Where are the arrests on me? You know, we don't believe it anymore. I mean, we have due process in our country, and our standard is a high one. And so you're not going to have arrests at the front end. The arrests happen at the back end of an investigation, not at the front end of that. So we are diligently working together as a huge DOJ with, tens of thousands of employees nationally and working on these issues. But justice must be served in these circumstances.
You feel it will be?
I do feel it will be. I personally am committed to it in whatever small part I can play. Civil Rights Division investigates conspiracies against civil rights. We've brought some criminal charges in that regard. You've seen that in Minnesota, and you will see more of those cases. And so you have a team of, I think, the most zealous advocates for liberty at the DOJ, and I'm really proud to be a small part of Pam Bondi's team with Todd Blanche and others who are doing a great job.
They're hitting their stride. I talked to a whistleblower the other day. He said it took 10 years for the weaponized government to do all the things it did. It's going to take us a little time to unravel, particularly when it's hidden.
Oh, I mean, let me tell you something. I learned recently from the reports about Arctic frost that my law firm was targeted.
You were targeted?
And years ago.
Targeted!
No one told us. I never got a notice. No one told us that outrageously, there was an attempt to pierce our attorney-client privilege communications with our client and the campaign, the president, the Republican National Committee. So I'm as outraged as anybody about this and as motivated to make sure that these violations of our civil rights should never happen again. And these are the most precious common law rights, the attorney-client privilege, your privacy rights, and they're natural rights as well. People have very casually waived these rights and said everything is, Google has it, it's in the cloud or what have you. No, we have rights to privacy in our country, and that DOJ officials who work in the same building who worked in the same building as I currently work in, shredded those rights, should be morally offensive to every American, regardless of politics.
You're confident they shredded our rights, aren't you?
I'm very I know it.
You know it.
I believe it. I know it. I've seen some things that shocked me to the conscience and to my core as a lawyer for more than 3 decades. We have to stop it.
Yeah, well, this will be the moment. We'll know in the next couple of years, I think, what the ultimate outcome, but it is an amazing thing. Meanwhile, one thing we do know, we're going to have a lot cleaner voter rolls than we've ever had in a long time, and that's a big tribute to the work you're doing.
We already do. Let me tell you, when I ask a state for their voter roll, some of them have said to me, Harmeet, let us it's like when you have guests come over, or the cleaning lady come over. Some of us women particularly, we do a little pre-clean because we're embarrassed. There was some pre-cleaning happening before we got those voter rolls, and so the rolls are already cleaner just by our asking for them.
Someone said that you're Jiminy Cricket on the shoulders of a lot of election officials, and I think that's a good thing. So
that's a very flattering way I've been described. I've heard some other things.
Well, that means you're doing your job. Great to have you here. What a great treat. All right, folks, we're going to take a quick commercial.
Wow, Timbo, man, and it was gone a little long at the end there, but I stuck with it, and man, I get it. This is Tim's deal right here, man. This is
it's all falling into place. I mean, you can just hear the Q-isms all throughout their little back and forth. I mean, you can just see it, and she was there.
Targeted 45 jobs, and that run back one, whistleblowers, is right below there. We just did that, and we just talked about it. Then the things they said is just wild. I know you guys are all, hopefully you're catching all those comms, but oh man.
Yeah, I'm glad we got a chance to cover. Oh, what's that, Melzie?
I just feel like, we should, like the Cars, that song that goes, let the good times roll.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm making some reels and just celebrating this, like just having them talk about it and then showing the little clip, FBI raids, secret, and like the Q drops and all this shit. Like it's all these things, and
we've waited a long time for this. And so it's so good to hear that things are going to be coming out and, all the things that we knew were happening. And, like Q tells us that if we knew the truth, we would probably not be able to handle it. So it's designed this way for it to be digested by the whole, and for change to happen too, so that we can become aware. And it's just great to see. It's awesome, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it reverts back to you picking today's title. I'm so glad you did that. Like we don't like people have to understand when it comes to Q School, we don't have. Well, I've got my own little notes, but it's not like the three of us get together and this is what we're going to talk about today. We just throw spaghetti on the wall, folks. We go with the flow. We go with what the news is breaking. And MelzieKaye came up with Patriots in Control title today, and I think we pretty much proved today that the news is unlocking the map, and the Q drops that we read, run back and the voter ID stuff, the Save America Act and whistleblower, all those things, all the Qisms involved in that is matching exactly to how this is unfolding, how people can be rest assured that, you know, Patriots are in control and things are being done. As much as you'll never get this information from the mainstream media because we are the news now, right? That's the whole thing about this. And as long as we collectively come together, you know, on a daily or weekly basis and cover this stuff, people will go, oh, okay, now it makes sense. Now I see how this is unfolding, right? And how the stage had to be set. And sometimes you can't tell the people the truth. You must show them. Like, it's all falling into place. And the timing is just, that's what gives me chills. It's because we've been talking about this for quite some time now, how important these midterm elections are, less than 8 months away from us, and how the system will be cleaned up or cleared up, or the pathway to a brighter, beautiful future is going to start with us taking our power back by voting, by simply voting or being in the voting process in a free, fair, and election, which we've never had in so long.
Key part. That's very key.
Yeah, big things are coming because they're starting to, you know, like Trump said when he went, was it before the WEF? I can't remember. And he said that, you know, there was election fraud that happened. And so now we're seeing it, you know, hey, we're going to be coming up with big information soon. And so, you know, it has to be cleaned up and it has to be brought to the public. So they give us kind of little, like, you know, I'd say like breadcrumbs so that we can start digesting it process by processing it, you know. So it's exciting. I think we will see some arrests happening, and you know, they're not just gonna they're not going to go arrest people that they don't have proof for. They're going to have overwhelming evidence so that there isn't retaliation, so that you know, it has to be done by.
And remember, these are grand jury subpoenas too, sister. This is from a grand jury, like all these different.
I just can't even imagine that, you know, like
that means they already have evidence. They have
and to see, you know, if that were me in that situation, panic in DC would be an understatement. Because you know you're already roasted at that point.
And man, I got so many things going through my mind too. Just the Qisms, like Tim says, is there's some Q drops that say, why would we release this information? Or basically the people are going to testify. What advantages if we drop the information before or after they testify, right? The different gameplay with that, right? You can have, let's say Clinton testifies, they drop some files after that, or they drop it first. We actually got to see that with Bill Clinton. I have to see the drop. We're getting long already here, but Bill Clinton, the information was dropped before his testimony, so he even makes the reference multiple times. Well, I'm sure you guys have seen the picture. I remember that girl now, as you have the picture presented in evidence for me, you know. But it's a key part of this whole thing. I kind of lost my train of thought where I was going. No, it's okay. But part of the movie too, and the arrests and this bigger stuff, we really have them all, but also got doing it by the book and the timing and stuff, and the grand juries from the people, right?
Yeah.
But there's this military element to everything. Thank you guys for always supporting us too with the likes and sending the lives out. Good to see Jay Rosemary's one of our beautiful friends in there. I want to show Scott Russell real quick. I know we're a little long, but he's got the Unite for Freedom thing here. I want to show. I don't know if you run the Twitter account, Scott, but this is Unite for Freedom. It's with the number 4 in there. Here's the X account. Go follow them. They're up at 10,000 followers here. Unite for Freedom with the number 4 in there. A group of citizen volunteers from across the country working to make sure our elections are legal, valid, and accurate. Thank you, sir. Again, Scott Russell in Colorado, but here's Texas too. Breaking again. There's great information wherever state you're in here on the website to Unite for Freedom. This is their X page again. But breaking finalizing analysis of Texas primary election data. Something has gone terribly wrong. We don't have time to get all this because it's actually a little long. I'd be interested to dig into this and maybe make a little video or talk about it when we go full into the election stuff. Will be interesting. But check this out, Tim. I just scrolled the images. Check this out. You guys see this in here. 217. Look at that. You got check this out. It gets better though, because and I'm sure Scott probably knows this, but if he doesn't, like goes a ways down. This is gonna be an interesting article. But look at this. 2026 primary voting was early voting February 17th. That's the 217. And look at 61 snapshots. Why 61 significant Q stuff, Tim?
That would be the very first Q drop ever signed by Q.
First Q signature ever signed is 61. And let's go one more gematria tard thing on here for you guys too with 61. Why it's relevant. QAnon, and there's even one more also, Tim, because there is no QAnon, but we created it. 61. Do you know what do we say in the Q drops? Who else is Q? We are, right? We are Q.
We are
you are Q. You is 61, right? 61. So 217, 61 snapshots, 7 changes to the February or AKA 217 vote count. And we've been doing Q School at 217 on our 5.5 version. So pretty cool. Thank you, Scott Russell, for all the hard work you do. That's Unite for Freedom guys there. They're over on X. He's got the website too, just like it's spelled. It's Unite with the number 4 and then freedom.com, but they're over on the X. Make sure you follow them and give Scott a shout out too in the comment section over on Rumble. Tell him how much y'all love, appreciate hard work and all of his beautiful kindness in the comments. Thank you guys. Love, love, love.
Yeah, and that's a good point too you brought up. I'm glad you did that, because there's a number of great organizations just like Scott's that you can all get involved in prior to the midterm. So like, don't just sit on your couches and enjoy the show. You have to get involved. I mean, this is the one time in history where evil has never been so exposed, and all of it's coming out for the whole world to see. And you are taking your country back by getting your power back. We, the people, have the power, and Trump has always promised that since his first inauguration speech back in 2017. We're giving power back to you, the people, and the only way you can do that is by activating yourself and participating. So look for the local groups in your communities and participate, volunteer. Some of them are paid positions too. They actually pay you to get involved and do the the dirty work or whatever you want to call it, like the pounding on the doors and walking the sidewalks and things like that. Voter
That's
station.
called canvassing. That's called canvassing. Some other things. That's some which people did the canvasses before. We're getting this exposed that FBI now has this. That's my state, Nevada, in particular too. They canvassed. But I went to go check on these places, and so many voters there was no residents there at all. I mean, this is all the things we've talked about for a long time, but it had to be done this way. You got to expose the information. It kind of makes sense. Some people call it a conspiracy. Exposes the faggots, all the fakes, the shills. We come full circle. You know what I mean? And man, we're finally there. I know there's been a lot of friction even just recently too, with just different things in our lives and whatnot, and all these like being challenged, but just keep moving forward. We're like right on the cusp of something really, really special. You can feel it. And then I got one more drop for us when we're ready to wrap it up, but I'll go back to you guys one more time. And then I don't have a closing video if anyone.
I was going to suggest, Melzie suggested, let the good times roll. Just go to Rumble, type in Scotty Marr, let the good times roll. Let's pull up that video.
Yeah.
All right, that's perfect. There we go. That's how we do it. See, just like Tim said, I was like, hey, you want to make bacon tonight? He said, what about chicken? Let's throw chicken on the wall.
Yeah, and for closing remarks, all I want to say, I just want to thank all of you for hanging in there and keep fighting, fighting the good fight that you're fighting, and inviting others, and you keep coming back to the battlefield, and you've never backed down, never given up, never given in, and we're starting to see the fruits of our hard work starting to finally come to play. And you can see, obviously many of you in here, us Q-tards, are seeing the 40,000 foot view actually playing out so beautifully, so wonderfully. And we know now, based on all of the geopolitical things that are happening around the world, including Iran and the oil and this and that and everything else, including what's going on in our local communities, is that the whole world's watching. They're all watching this. So the more that we can, shout from the rooftops, the things that we've learned, the excitement that we have, knowing that we're going in the right direction, and it had to be this way, and that you're there to help guide them and comfort them and love on them and pray for them. That's all you need to do as a warrior, and you've done it all along. So why stop now? Just keep doing what you're doing, and I applaud you for that, and I thank you on behalf of Matthew Q, my son, and myself. Thank you for fighting the good fight, because that's where we are now. We're getting to that precipice. We're getting to that peak of the hill, that top of the hill that we've been talking about for some time. And the ride down is going to be fun, man. 88 miles an hour. Let's go.
Let's go. Hoo-yah, sir. As our leader, the man behind the charge. Thank you, Tim, for all that you've done and riding the ship and keeping us steered in the right direction. And all you beautiful Patriots with us along the journey, seeing the comments and stuff. Again, I can't respond too much. Again, there when I can, but you guys are just beautiful. And again, I see taking some notes on some of the things you guys have found. Let's get an updated list on that. Again, Investigator, did we have that one on there? Add some other ones. We found Shield. I'm talking about the 17 drops, but we should write down the other 45s also and all that stuff too. But anyways, it's been quite a ride.
All right.
So I don't think we need to do that second Q drop just because but I'll just show it one more time because I typed I was doing some of the different searches. I did you have, I wound up going to you have all. And then so this was the one we weren't expecting to do, but we did today, 4960. Why do some elections take more than a day to account? Can cheating be done after the polls are closed? Okay. And this, I've talked about this quite a bit in the past. We've done our election stuff. The reason they wanted, obviously the mail-in ballot's super easy to steal, but by giving them extra time, these duplicate ballots they had, they were moving those in. And then these machines could even mark ballots, guys. Professor Clemens is talking about that and let my people go. They could literally mark the ballots. It's so absurd. So what they were doing was they had to electronically steal so many votes that they had way more votes than they had people. So they had to ship in the ballots to match up the numbers. And then that made because the machines are designed to be rigged, then the audit basically backed up the rigging. That's how the whole system was bullshit and rigged like that. So it's wild to, we'll explain that better down the road. But anyways, this one ended here, though. The big part, though, setting the stage. Watch carefully. White hats have secured many systems, but problems still remain. You have all the tools you need. Vote, Q. And then there was one more over here, too. Are you ready to take back control? Your vote matters. You have all the tools you need, Q. So everything we've been talking
well
about.
Well done. Well done, Brother Kyle. Well done.
Yeah.
Whew.
Right?
Melzie,
thanks,
any
guys.
closing remarks for Melzie while Kyle pulls up that Scotty Marr?
I have something. Like I looked at the deltas today, so my mind's kind of going, whoa. I kind of figured something up, and so I'm going a little bit crazy in my head, and maybe we'll share it tomorrow. So
yeah, so it's got to going in the works because again, guys, if we haven't gone a ton into it, I did replay the Snowden thing. I encourage you guys to do it because I want to talk about more. Something's going to happen soon with Snowden. I can feel it. John Perry Barlow, that includes Julian Assange. Also, it's coming. It's brewing. I'm getting tapped in with the Q drops. I'm telling y'all what's coming here. So we're going to pay attention. But March 7th is what I call Snowden Day. It is Snowden 2, Vault 7. Vault 7 is Snowden 2. And then I'll try to teach more of that. But then 8-9 had some other drops. By the way, Trump's one and only treason tweet was on my birthday, but it's reshared the Q drop March 9th. We just hit that delta. And then what was the other deltas we were just covering here? Oh, then John Perry Barlow too. So Melza, I got a big dig on John Perry Barlow.
There's a proof. You guys do your homework today,
time,
and because if you can go into Q drops and look up today's deltas.
Snowden's,
Yes, and you'll see that it actually says Q proof in it. So.
Oh yeah, today's delta was a Q proof about John Perry Barlow.
John Perry Barlow. So you can read that and kind of think about it, and then maybe we can look at it tomorrow.
That sounds good. Perfect.
Cool.
All right, y'all. Love. We're gonna wrap it up with Scotty Marr. Instagram might get kicked out, whatever, but we'll see you guys. Love. See ya later. Love.
Well, look, the war is going to end. When it ends, I can't tell you, but the war is going to end, and this gentleman wants it to end, and Vladimir Putin wants it to end. I think the whole world is tired of it, and we're going to get it ended. It was. I've done 6 wars. I've ended 6 wars, and I thought this maybe would be the easiest one, and it's not the easiest one. It's a tough one. A lot of reasons for it, and they'll be talking about it for a long time. But they'll be talking about the others. Look, India, Pakistan. We're talking about the big places. When you look at, you just take a look at some of these wars. You go to Africa and take a look at that. Rwanda and the Congo. Republic of the Congo. That's been going on for 31 years. And so we've done a total of 6, and we really have 6, not including the fact that we obliterated, and it turned out to be a total obliteration, the nuclear in as you said, the future nuclear capability of Iran. And this one, I think we're going to get solved also. I feel confident we're going to get it solved.
Kyle, look at that Q drop. Oh my God, no way. There it is. You'll love how the movie is.
Got him. 847.
I can't believe
Kicking
we're
off a
talking
series
about
of high-profile closed-door depositions.
All right.
Those are intended to extend through mid-October, including subpoenas issued for Hillary and Bill Clinton. That's all part of the probe into Epstein's crimes and the Justice Department's handling of that case. Mr. Barr's time as Attorney General spanned Epstein's 2019 arrest, his later death at Metropolitan Correctional Center, which he called appalling, as well as Ghislaine Maxwell's arrest. Now, additionally, tomorrow is the deadline the committee has given for the complete DOJ records on the case. So, will that deadline be met?
Well, we're having really good conversations. You have to understand you can imagine how many documents there are. I think that we're going to have I think we'll receive the documents very soon.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, everybody. Love, love, love. Q School family loves you all. Thanks for all the love and prayers. See you next time.